whole time is done at 11 p.m.
It's 8:45 right now.
Which means we still have plenty of time.
I'm feeling the crunch.
We have time to do
since
all
we
of
just
that.
wasted 45 minutes.
That's okay, because we still have time. We're on track to do it.
Yeah, but I won't be able to take any breaks in between.
You have like 5 minutes.
I gotta get a drink of water after
You have 5 minutes? You can do that. 5 minutes.
All right.
You can drink. Then we go. That's the plan for tonight.
You had like a crazy thing where there was like a crazy storm. Yes, there was like a flash storm yesterday.
Yeah, I mean we
got
knew
stuck
it was coming, but
on the
crazy.
mountain almost.
Yeah. So we went up to Big Bear. My parents.
Oh, hey, there's this crazy storm. Let's get on the road.
It didn't look crazy in the forecast. It looked like, oh, is there going to be a little bit of something. It turned out to be a lot more. Did you look at the
Big Bear forecast?
Yeah. And it said it was going to be dusty.
It was like all of a sudden just like goosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
I mean, here it was bad, so I can't imagine. I mean, we didn't snow here.
It was like a blizzard.
Not
much.
Here it was
stuff,
like
though.
a freaking snow. It was like a super storm.
Yeah. Well, so
it was flooding by my mailbox.
During the day, I mean, it was like blizzarding, but it didn't really stick on the roads. But by the time we drove down, we went down about 6 o'clock, and it wasn't like sticking, but it was freezing. So it was kind of slippery. We took it nice and slow, but we got down about 2/3 of the way down the mountain, and there's like a huge crash scene. That we were the first car there after the police got there. So they stopped us there, and they had, all the flares out and stuff. And the car was flipped over on its side, right on the edge of the road, off the side of the road. And they had a tow truck. We watched them flip it back over, but we were stuck there for 45 minutes. And it was to the point where should we turn around? But once we turn around, we have to go around the other side or something. And it was too late. So we finally got through that, went through, and then there's the line of cars from the other way waiting to get through. And in the middle of that, there's another car that has since then spun out and is sideways blocking them. So we have to go around them. And then about 3/4 of a mile down the road, there's a second scene with a bunch of ambulances and fire trucks, and 3 or 4 cars were all piled up together on the side of the road. But they had mostly cleared that one, so we only had to wait like 10 minutes.
That mountain,
it was nuts.
I mean, you grew up you probably have seen just some horrific accidents.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Because there's always bad. I know somebody that died in an accident going down that mountain. People. Yeah. It's super. This is what people. Nobody can ever give me a hard time about not wanting to drive up and down that freaking mountain because it's super crazy.
Well, in the snow and ice, it's a whole different thing. And the problem is people don't adjust their driving. Usually it's someone who doesn't live up there and is not used to driving in it. So what happened is all these people, the Flatlanders. All these people went up there for the weekend, and it's nice and sunny, and then Sunday evening.
And it was beautiful this weekend.
Yeah, then they get a blizzard, and then everyone's they don't know how to get down the hill.
I would have definitely been laughing now.
It was bad. So anyway, that was nuts. But it's a good weekend other than that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good weekend. I mean, overall, I went to the memorial for my friend Brian, who I grew up with. And but it was a really chill, it was at somebody's house. There's a lot of people there. There was food and there was a lot of booze, so by the time I got there, everybody was pretty chill, and there was and then it was just they had played some music, had people talk, and that was pretty much it. And I got up there and I'm I don't know, I just felt I felt the spirit, and I killed it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of laughs. And I was like, oh man, it made me want to do this is so weird because it was at a funeral, but it wasn't a funeral. It was just people
a wake.
Yeah, definitely more of a wake. And it was and then I made everybody laugh, and somebody even said do you do comedy? And I was like, kind of, yeah. And they're you're really good. And it was
Did
this
you tell
old
about
dude.
the digging in the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I told a little bit about that, and I told it about going to sitting on the couch with La Paloma and Chuck always yelling at us for stealing candy, but I'm why you put the couch right behind the candy? Of course I'm 8. I'm gonna steal that candy. And awesome. and then just talking about the first time I saw Brian in 20 years, this is the kind of guy he was, it was at Grandma Marianne's funeral, and he's the first person I see, and his first thing he gives me this big hug, and his first word out of his mouth is, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I was a jerk as a kid." And I was like, "I was a jerk as a kid." And I was and we caught right back up, but I don't know. It was good talking about him and talking, and And I don't know, it was a good weekend. And San Diego was cool, but I didn't get to enjoy, like, because this was in Escondido, so
Right.
would have been way out of my way to go to Lou's or Roberto's or
So did you just
whatever.
come back up Saturday night?
Yeah, I just came back up and then been watching a ton of Unsolved Mysteries, which we'll talk about. But I was writing jokes today about Unsolved Mysteries,
which is awesome.
And I told them to you, and you laughed. So
yeah, we gotta get you out there.
Gotta do some more comedy, man. Because especially watching Crashing. This is how I'm sneaking in all my TV talk, by the way.
That's okay. It's making you creative.
And so watching Crashing, which is all about Pete Holmes getting his start, and as a comedian, I love Pete Holmes so much, and he's so good. And then seeing T.J. Miller, because now he's T.J. Miller's on the show now,
right?
And just, gosh, T.J. Miller is so funny, and he's just that energy. But then just getting out there and doing comedy all the time, and it's part of you, and then Pete and the behind the scenes talking about. There is no greater high than after you have a good set. And I still that was oh my gosh, I still think about it I want to do that again.
Get you out there.
Well, okay, so I saw on Matt Cruz's Facebook, old time friend of the show, Matt Cruz. I guess he went to that one in Riverside that does contests, and he won the contest.
Really?
And he got a couple $100.
So you have to pay, but you could win?
Yeah, but I'm going to talk to him. I should talk to him and be what's going on with this? Because and also I think it's cool that Matt Cruz is doing stand-up comedy now.
You should come out and do it.
Yeah.
You should do a double.
We gotta do it at the Queen Bean. I mean, we still got a deal.
We still need to do that.
Fulfill that obligation
for sure.
And that might be a good kickoff. Because I don't know, I really got the itch.
You could tour, play there, Riverside,
the Inland Empire
place out in LA, and you went out there.
Well, I definitely want to do them during the summer. I don't know. I think I might just try and crash with somebody and just do it because I have there could be at least a month where I could just do it.
That'd be cool.
At least for a couple weeks and just do it every night.
Do it.
Really get going,
dude.
And
how cool will that be?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's pie in the sky. I've heard the LA open mic scene is brutal.
Yeah, but okay, worst case scenario, you have an awesome time and it's fun and you got a good experience. Even if people boo.
It's true.
Even if they throw a bottle at your head.
And we could get probably new listeners to the podcast.
Exactly.
I want to do it. I want to do it out here, but there's nowhere. I gotta talk to Cruz. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Last time I saw him, I just haven't talked to him in a long time. I don't even know because last time I saw him was at Universal.
You should ask him. See what his take on it.
Going on. It was funny. I was just listening to an old Popsicles where because it was at the live show where we had him do the intro.
Yeah.
And then I was remembering because I was talking to Derek because we were talking about Aubrey Plaza for some reason, and I'm like, remember the time Aubrey Plaza with the Smog Castle, and she said so Dominic Dierkes used to do this show at Smog Castle where it was he had a podcast, and one of his gimmicks was he would just bring up somebody from the audience and interview them.
Okay.
So one time Matt Cruz got up and Dominic interviewed him. So and then his actual guest after Matt Cruz was Aubrey Plaza. So then Aubrey Plaza was like, man, that Matt Cruz guy, what was going on with him? And so then Dominic posted as a recording, and Matt Cruz is a rapper. So then he used that Aubrey Plaza saying his name dropped so much.
That's so rad.
But also, and then Derek's when was that? I'm like, oh yeah, because Derek wasn't there. But I'm like, yeah, can you I don't know, just there was a time when was just hanging out with Aubrey Plaza.
Good time,
man.
More times like that to come.
Fallen. She's definitely risen up in the.
She's doing all right.
I wish Dominic still did that podcast too, because they did it at another place for a while, and he had Gillian Jacobs on and all this other people.
Cool.
And because the first time he did it, that was when we met Paul F. Tompkins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And of course, me being the doof that I was, Derek still gives me a hard time for this. My thing to Paul F. Tompkins was, you were really great in Community. But then it actually got him to, because he was on his way out.
Yeah.
And he stopped, he turned around, he's like, yeah, that was really great. Yeah, thanks. So I'm like, see, at least I got him to whereas, I don't know. And then that's where I met Kumail and Pete, and so I met them a couple times. And they were really nice.
Oh, dude.
They were one of the only people that didn't hang out in the green room only and would talk to because there were a lot of situations where the only other person that hung out with me and Derek Mitch Albom,
Huh.
the multi-billion selling author.
Yeah.
He was super cool. I never read any of his books. I feel
either.
like I should.
Yeah.
But like I fell asleep during the movie Tuesdays with Maury, so I don't know.
I mean,
and then like I remember like Britney Spears really loved that 5 People Meet in Heaven book, and I'm like, if Britney Spears likes it, I don't even know.
Was that his?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not. I mean, just from what I've heard, but who knows? I haven't actually read it.
Andrew says it's good.
All right.
But because at this point, Kevin was gonna film Hit Somebody. Well, so Mitch Albom co-wrote the song Hit Somebody with Warren Zevon.
Okay.
Warren Zevon, the famous recording artist who has now passed away. And then Kevin wanted to turn the song. It's about a hockey goon, which is the guys that like beat people up.
Okay.
And so he wanted to turn that into a movie, and it later ended up becoming a miniseries, and now I think it's dead. But at one point, Mitch Albom. The reason why the way Kevin got him to do it, because he had to sign off, was Mitch was like, you have to film it, and because Mitch Albom's like huge. He's from Detroit. He's one of those guys that's like, I'm not leaving Detroit. I'm not going to abandon it. I'm going to work hard. Like it's like him and Jack White and Kid Rock and I mean, no, not Kid Rock. Eminem is Detroit.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe Kid Rock. I don't know. No, that doesn't sound right because Kid Rock's like Southern.
No, yeah.
I think it's Eminem. But those guys, and they're all very loyal to Detroit, and I found that very cool. Like, because like most people have given up on Detroit. And so he was gonna like get money into Detroit by having Kevin film that thing there, but then it all kind of fell through.
That's a bummer.
But they were like buds. I think they're still buds. But he like hung out at Smog Castle, and I just thought it was cool because like he could have been in like the green room and whatever. But he hung out with like me and Derek for like most of the night.
It's cool.
It was pretty cool. Man, we got a lot to cover, so we got to get going here. Okay, so Mark Kalmbach is now officially our correspondent from the past.
Yes.
We gave him the DeLorean. He's back there in 2012 now, reporting. This is like hearing about, this is like a This Is Your Life, Phil and Brendo.
Fantastic. I love it.
It's so amazing. Yeah. And I love it. And I think he doesn't understand that we definitely wanted to do this.
He's like, if you guys are serious about this, I'm telling you, when this came in, I was like standing in the hallway and I saw it on my phone and I stood there in the hallway and read this whole thing on my phone before I moved on. That's how like much I love these.
Yeah, it's really great. So Mark writes, "Dear Doritos loving dudes."
Yes,
I like that. Man, I'm still mad about those jalapeno Doritos. I never got those.
No.
Did you eat them yet?
No, they're in the vault.
I thought you were cheating now.
No, just when we go to New York.
Who won the weigh-in?
My mom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What place did you guys get?
Janelle got second.
Yeah?
She's never won. She's lost every time.
Man,
I got fourth. I did bad this time.
Did you have to buy anything now?
Well, for the next time, I got to buy snacks for our next game night. That's the deal.
All right.
My dad has to buy dinner though. He came in last.
All right, so Mark says, assuming your request to report on my listening to classic episodes of Raider BrendoMan to be genuine, and if that is so, you two must be true gluttons for punishment. No, we love this
it's amazing.
So much.
It's amazing.
Here is the second installment of my random comments on a run of episodes number 16 to 26 to be exact. That is so.
That's a lot.
We're talking about 5 years ago, 2012.
We hadn't gotten to our 5-hour episodes yet, but those are still like
we're getting up there.
Over an hour.
I want to hear what happens when he gets to like the 3-4 hour episodes. Is that where we're gonna lose Mark Kalmbach forever?
I don't know.
If we never hear from him again, we know that he got to like the 4-hour episodes. It's like
done.
Screw this, you guys, I'm out of here. What's wrong with you?
Oh man.
All right, I have failed to note to which episode these comments refer for the most part, so this will tend to be on the more rambling and incoherent side of things. So it's
just like our shows.
Totally fine. Episode number 16. It's also crazy that this dude, like, you'll see, like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like this dude could be like our best bro.
He totally needs to hang out. Absolutely.
All right. Gordon Corman is mentioned frequently here, so I thought I'd name my 2 favorite Corman novels. First off, I think this is the first reader we've ever had
that even knows
about Gordon Corman.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wait. Hawkboy knew about I Want to Go Home, but that's because Hawkboy is Canadian.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Because I think Gordon Corman is much bigger in Canada.
Yes, yeah. Being Canadian himself.
And so, okay, I Want to Go Home and Who is Bugs Potter? I've never read Who is Bugs Potter. Great. Do I need to read it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you need to read everything you wrote. Definitely. That's like one of the classics from back in the same era.
Oh, dude, speaking of that, kid comes in looking for some good mystery books, and I was like, Gordon Corman, baby. And then he came back, and he's like, these are awesome. Do you have other ones? No, it was some other ones.
Oh, okay.
There were also mysteries that I hadn't even read, but I'm like, there's
like Everest.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's so many.
He's done a lot.
And then I'm like, well, then I gave him On the Run after that. So now I got this kid like,
oh, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
And the librarian was very impressed.
On a total side note, I'm not total side note, but Matthew, my brother, at school, and I can't remember at his school. One of the other nurses or teacher or someone was like talking to him and said like they want to read with their kid. They don't know about reading. Blah, blah.
Man.
Do you have any recommendations for something I want to get my kid to read?
Do I have recommendations?
You told them about James Riley, and they're like on the James Riley train. Nice. So we're spreading the good news.
Dude, I made people at school jealous that they're like, you've talked to James Riley.
I talked to him on Monday.
Yeah. Talked to him a bunch.
Yeah.
He's freaking cool, and they're like, oh my God. I think James Riley is blowing up.
He's going to be huge. I was like crossing my fingers he'd still talk to us. Gordon Corman. Really cool.
All right.
I read my favorite.
I read each of these probably more times than I read. See, that's weird. That's why I hate the word read.
I know.
I hate it. That I care to remember or recount. The pages come loose from I want to go home. I feel like that's a common thing.
That's exactly my book.
I think it's those cheap 70s books.
Yeah, but that plus also, having read it like so many times, mine has like masking tape holding it together.
Both would have been great movies by 70s Disney. He's probably not at the point. One, he's not at the point where he talked about I want to go home.
Yeah.
And our many conversations like, if this is, I feel like I think we should adapt it on spec. I think we should.
Yeah, it's definitely one.
That should be a
just
project.
Send it to him.
Well, just that we have like, hey, this is the thing we wrote, because it'd be so easy to write that script. That thing writes itself.
It's gorgeous.
So yeah, but nobody steal that, please.
Yeah, don't do it. They won't even be able to find a copy of the book.
They don't even know what we're talking about.
No.
I have seen random notes for episodes. Man, there's like little like caves or like lights are opening up, like all this stuff.
Remembering the stuff we talked about.
We've talked about so much stuff. It's so much weird, crazy stuff. I don't understand why anybody else cares about anything that we talk about.
Apparently,
but obviously
it works.
They do.
Because they've got stuff in common.
Random notes for episodes number 17 through 25. I have seen Under the Rainbow. Because remember we used to do like movie homework?
Yeah, Phil's Freaky Movies.
And also just like movie work.
Yeah,
we had to watch movies.
I think this was under Phil's Freaky Movies, though.
Yeah, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah. Well, I think I might have made you watch it.
told me to watch, but I think we watched it as an assignment. I can't remember.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe not.
Because it was hard. Not. I still don't know if it's had a DVD release. I have it on VHS.
I forgot how I watched it. No, it definitely has, because I think I got the DVD
or
something. I definitely watched it. And I feel like I watched it for this podcast. I don't remember. But he says it was recommended by a Facebook friend of mine, and I watched it on YouTube. Maybe that's how I watched it. And honestly, I enjoyed it, except for the awful cliched ending. It was a little strange seeing Carrie Fisher in anything other than the Star Wars trilogy.
Burbs, man.
Blues Brothers. Yeah. Burbs.
She's amazing.
That's,
I mean, right there. Okay.
Forget Blues Brothers, dude.
I just watched the Burbs this week. I forgot to put that on there.
Oh, dude. I love the Verbs so much, because you and Derek were talking about
Tom Hanks,
and talking Tom Hanks. By the way, that episode with you and Derek on Alex Keaton is my friend was fantastic.
Awesome, cool. I really had fun with them.
It was really funny, and also I was really surprised that neither of you did the Ghostbusters ladies line. Because it's not really a line.
Okay.
She just goes, huh! And she's the huh lady, which is one of my favorite moments of the movie.
That's funny.
Huh! And then she just goes back in her apartment.
That's good. Yeah.
And neither of you did it.
I'm sorry.
But Derek, you did get Derek to sing, which was fantastic.
Like multiple times.
Yeah,
right?
That was awesome.
That was my goal.
You got him to sing the Different Strokes.
Different Strokes and believe it.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
Oh, dude, so good. And talking about bosom buddies.
Yeah.
I freaking loved it.
Well, thank you. It was a double episode. That's why it was a little longer.
Also, as I tweeted today, I rather enjoy the fact that without me, Derek doesn't know the URL to his own podcast.
I know,
because he totally gave the wrong URL. He said popsiclescast.com. That's not it. Just ask Brendan. Yeah, Brendan knows. And I'm like,
well, I said you could look it up on Facebook, so that'll at least get someone there. But he definitely did not.
Nobody goes to podcast websites. Nobody. Yeah. Our website, I looked like by year, our traffic has while our listenership has gone up, our website traffic is
well, but how often do you go to it makes sense.
And like, so yeah, it's like but it's even you have to have it, and it's also like you never know when you're gonna, because you know what I have seen, and I think this might be Mr. Kalmbach, I don't know, but somebody's hitting our archives like super hard because there's like 4 visitors but like 100 page views.
That's probably some of it there.
So yeah, people just Google to make sure they can get it on their app. Boom.
Yep.
Shakalaka, because like it's all our front page. Then when people do hit it, like, and there then they just so. That's why a good podcasting tip, make sure you have links to your subscribe on your front page, because otherwise, what are you doing?
Someone goes, right?
So, okay, we really got to roll with this here. YouTube asked the listeners if they want to hear more Disneyland stories. Yes, absolutely. I love listening or reading stories about people's experiences working at Disney parks. Well, you're going to really love
plenty of that coming up.
Listening to the show. Have you read David Koning's excellent books on the Disney parks?
I got some for Janelle.
Talking about Mouse Tales and more Mouse Tales. Yeah. They are fantastic. He's also got a couple others. I haven't read his Disney World one yet, which is called Reality Land. And then he's got a new one called People versus Disney or something like that. And it's all about the lawsuits. And that one's brand new, so it's only in hardcover because he like self-publishes these or something, or it's like a really small publisher. And like, which is crazy because these books are all amazing. And then his older book is called Mouse Under Glass, and he actually talked. It's specifically about the animated movies. Then he also talks about rides that never happened, like for instance, the Robin Hood ride and the full Tron ride that was gonna happen, like all these other stuff. So he gets into that in this one.
That's cool.
And then why they stopped making animated movie rides and then switched over to parades because it was like way cheaper. Because for a while, every new animated movie, because you think about all the the animated movies that didn't do well in the 70s and 80s. So every one of those Imagineering spent tons of time and money getting ready to make a ride for, and then the movie would bomb, and then they'd be like, oh, never mind. So they were just wasting all this money. And then
that's why we didn't get a Little Mermaid ride until like 30 years later.
Yeah, because they at a certain point they're like, no, we're not doing this. And then the Aladdin parade happened. They're like, oh, this is great. We're just gonna do this.
Right.
And they did that for like a ton of things. And so he talks about that.
That's why we don't have a Home on the Range.
And then it also has an introduction from Richard Sherman himself. Ooh. So, but yeah, David Koning's books are great. And I will tell this story real quick.
Okay.
The first day at Disneyland, actually taking tickets, one of my first guests, I'm not even joking, was David Koning.
How did you even know?
Annual pass, David Koning. And I'm like, I'm sorry to bother you, but you're partially the reason why this is my first day on the job, and you're partially the reason why I'm here. And he's like, oh my gosh, thank you. I actually get that quite a bit. And I'm like, do you work for them? And he's like, because I'm like, it's like, seriously, reading his books are one of the reasons why I wanted to work at Disneyland.
That's cool.
Have you read Mouse Tales?
Yeah.
It is
only like the one though.
The first one, like the second one's great, but the first one is nuts. Because it goes in like from the beginning, just like, I mean, like the Yippee invasion, like, and that whole thing, and like and then just all the crazy stories, like just all the crazy stuff that employees have done, and like just crazy. It's stuff you will never hear from Disney ever.
Yep.
And because he interviewed just like hundreds of cast members, and it's so good. Like they're must reads.
Well, for Mark, there's tons more Disneyland talk coming, so don't worry.
If you have specific questions,
feel
free. Phil even does the Crush voice at a certain point.
That's right.
You'll have to keep listening. All right, feel free to continue sharing your stories of your frequent Disney trip or Disney gripes. We got both.
Yeah, it's all in there.
The Tripod Trilogy book series is discussed.
Yes.
A decent series. I remember reading it in grade school. If you guys eventually wound up reading the series in your book club.
If you did, well, we did. That's awesome.
I sincerely hope you read the prequel last. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
But he says prequel last after reading the trilogy.
Yes.
So it was a trilogy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because we did it as a 4.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to do that because otherwise you'll like kind of ruin.
Yeah, definitely.
The prequel is great though.
It is good, but it's kind of a standalone.
It's definitely
thing,
like a standalone.
You want to see the rest first.
It's really sad.
It is. But it's good.
As both would lose power if the prequel was read first. I agree.
Yep.
Agreed. I think, but that's just one reader's opinion. We agree with
you. We agree with you.
It's sort of how I think the original. Chronicles of Narnia series, but I think reads better if read in publication. See, this guy agrees with you.
That's totally me. I completely agree with that.
Because it's true. It kind of spoils the other book.
The chronological order is.
The chronological order, you can't, because it talks about characters that are developed in other books.
Right. It doesn't, and it ruins like the surprise. Like if you're coming into it fresh and you don't know what you're reading, then you shouldn't know what happens before they go in that wardrobe or wherever.
That's like the Spielberg linear, like things should be difficult. Right. Things should be like you don't just this whole wrap it all up in a pretty little bow.
Yeah. Definitely.
Publication order. We're both firmly on publication order.
That's how the author put it out there.
That's also how they're doing the movies.
Yeah.
So
obviously those people agreed.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be introduced.
Well, especially from a movie standpoint, the characters, you're going to have characters that nobody cares about because they're developed in other books.
Right. And because the first one chronologically, I can't remember what the name of it is, but that's the one where Narnia is created and it's weird and it's good, but that's a weird
don't have any kind of
people,
I agree. Because I had a friend that started and he never read them before and he read it in chronology. He's like, this is dumb.
Yeah, you got to do it.
He's like, what is this? I don't know. And I'm like, and then I'm like, well, you mean this? And he's like, I don't know what any of that is. I'm like, oh crap! Stop it! Stop doing that.
My books still say
you got the whole.
And I refuse to acknowledge that.
They did that in the late '90s, huh? I think they just did that to sell more books.
Well, they absolutely did.
It's freaking jerks.
Like, hey guys, you know what we could do to sell more books?
Change the numbers on them.
It's a marketing. It's totally what it is. Because they're like, we got this old property, we're not making any money off it. What can we do? All right, we'll definitely agree on that.
All right, Steam is discussed a couple times, and I have a game to recommend if you haven't tried it. Deadbolt. I haven't heard of it.
I haven't either.
I like its simple gameplay and the challenging levels, which aren't as challenging after one figures out how to complete a level. One reason I like it is that it's like playing an old school NES game.
That sounds great.
Sounds good.
Good recommendation.
Sounds good to me. Except you've been playing your Switch.
Yes, I have. It's going to be a while to get there. Oh, I got that sweet Switch.
I can't believe you're even here.
That's why I want to get home. What do you think I'm doing?
Okay, we do have to talk about the fact that you did end up buying 2 copies of Zelda.
Yes, I did. And I have one on eBay
for sale. Weren't you getting the one that day and then you went to Walmart and bought it?
Because I got it right then. I'll tell the story.
Why aren't you just returning the other one?
Because I got it for a discount on Amazon. I have a whole saga. I want to tell my saga. I'll tell my saga later. It's worth it.
Why didn't you bring it? It's portable.
It's true. Should have.
Bring the Switch.
I'll bring the Switch. Next time I'll bring the Switch. If we get done at 11,
it's not happening.
It's happening. We're almost there.
There seems to be a lot of love for this. This part's kind of already making me a little bit.
What?
There seems to be a lot of love for Community here. I loved the first season, but found the series. Andrew, cover your ears. He found the series dropped off in quality very quickly during the second season and never recovered for me. Oh,
Andrew just said sad face in the chat.
While I like nearly every episode first season, the second season held my interest for only a handful of installments. The less said about the rest, in my opinion, the better.
I know what happened here. He never saw the first 2 seasons. He watched season 3.
Do you think he accidentally?
And he thinks season 4 is season 2.
Yeah, that's the only way I can understand this.
That's got to be it.
He thinks season 4 is season 2,
and
that's the only way I can think of it.
The only way it makes any sense.
Season 1 and 2 are so good.
Yeah, I think season 2 is even.
Season 2 is like one of the best seasons.
That's where it hits its stride. It's okay. I agree with so many things with him.
Well, we'll let. I hope slide. He doesn't get because. We talk about Community a lot because that's during the golden boom of Community.
Well, I'm telling you, that's the only explanation. He doesn't know that the first 2 seasons exist.
There's going to be a lot of Community talk coming your way because we love that show a lot.
Because it's like one of the best shows of all time.
Except for season 4, but nobody.
Yeah, but that's the gas leak, which is genius.
Gas leak season.
So it had to happen so that we could have gas leak.
I feel like Dan Harmontown is amazing, but I'm like, oh my gosh, is he okay? But I feel like that's every time. That's every panel we've ever been to with him. That's every time.
Okay, man.
You all right, dude? Because he I don't want to just talk about Harmontown, but he bought a gun, but he's left it at the gun store because he knows he shouldn't have a gun. But it's they're holding it for the waiting period, but he just left it there. But he could go get it if he wants it. But it's because of he's just worried that there's gonna be an apocalypse scenario. It's not because he's but then everyone's you Dan Harmon with a gun. That's absolutely
a bad idea.
Terrifying. Yeah. But I think as he keeps talking about it and more people keep giving him a hard time about it, I think he's gonna let it go because he doesn't have it in his house.
That's good.
I'm like, Dan, you shouldn't have a gun in your
You should
house,
go visit
Dan. Dan, you shouldn't have a gun. Because like even Dino was like, you have a gun?
Well, you know, if he's concerned, then that's serious.
But anyways, but I love Harmontown. It's so good. And that documentary is amazing.
Yeah,
if you haven't,
yes, it is.
Watch Harmontown the documentary, Mark, and maybe I don't know.
Well, you just need to go back and see the actual season.
The actual season 2.
That's the problem.
Because I don't have no way, dude.
Nope.
Sorry, Brendan, but I must agree with Phil that Miss Streep is overrated. However, I disagree with Phil that Van Helsing is a good movie.
It's very diplomatic. He's giving us each a little.
There you go.
I
don't think he'd do any bad gun things either, Andrew, except to maybe himself.
Yeah, that's the concern. But to be fair, I love Meryl Streep in Florence Foster Jenkins' fantastic movie. And
you need to watch Death Becomes Her for the love of everything.
I may have to. After Florence Foster Jenkins,
Watch
I may give her a chance.
Death Becomes Her. It's such a good movie. It's such a Phil movie. It's such a Phil movie. And I know you because today, what did I do today? I was listening to Marin, and Marin was interviewing Eugene Levy, which everybody needs to listen to because it's great. And Eugene Levy was talking about, has Phil seen The Devil Wears Prada? I haven't seen The Devil Wears Prada.
Not.
And I don't think Phil has any interest in that.
No, not remotely.
But going back to Eugene Levy, and Eugene Levy was talking about the one and only movie, the feature that he directed that I had never heard of, called Once Upon a Crime, made in 1992, starring John Candy, Jim Belushi, Sybil Shepherd, who else is
tons of people?
Just tons of people, and he's like, and it's like it's a remake of like a French movie, and it's like a mystery,
it's like a caper, it's in Monte Carlo.
John Candy's like, I'm like, what is this movie? And I look it up, and of course it has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's just because people are crazy. I don't.
And then I just looking at it, I'm like, oh, Phil either owns this or has seen it or both or whatever. So I email Phil. I'm like, have you seen this? And of course, he's like, yeah, I see it. I owned it on VHS, and it was a really impossible to find DVD. But now I think it's
more, because I had it on VHS, and then we got rid of them all, and I haven't re-gotten it. But I remember renting it when I was a kid because we rented anything that John Candy was in. Period. Yeah, and like
I had never even heard of this.
Oh, dude, it's great.
But it was really cool hearing Eugene Levy just talk about like those guys all came up together, like him and Martin Short and John Candy and Joe Flaherty and all those guys, and then how like Christopher Guest was such a huge fan of SCTV that without even knowing Eugene Levy, he's like, as a person, he's like, will you come with me to this cabin? I want you to write a movie with me. And that's Waiting for Guffman.
That's amazing.
And Eugene Levy's like, are you sure? Like, and then he told this really beautiful story where up until like a year ago, Eugene Levy thought that he like was just like the 9th person that Chris, because he's like, man, I must have been like 9th or 10th on the list. And he went his whole, like, they wrote 4 movies together, and he just assumed that like this all happened because Christopher Guest. And then one day they're like sitting there, and he's like, man, why was I the 9th person you called? And like, why did you call me? Christopher's like, what are you talking about? You were the first person I called because you were so great on SCTV. He's like, and then Eugene Levy's response is, man, I wish I'd asked you that like 20 years ago. And then I wouldn't just felt like crap for this whole time. And I thought that was kind of really funny. Awesome. And then just hearing about like he got into movies and stuff because he went to school for like engineering or something at this college in Canada, and like none of these people were going to school for movies. Like Martin Short was like a social work major, right? And they had a film club where they would both make and show movies, and it was run by Ivan Reitman. And then that's where they all kind of got the bug. And then they all like auditioned for Godspell because like God's the touring production of Godspell, and they all got in it. And that's where they met like Catherine O'Hara, and like a few, and like I think that's where they met like a bunch of, and that's like, and then like and then like Second City came up there, and they all auditioned together. And then from there, and then when SNL was just poaching Second City, like, well, why don't we make our own show so we can like, where we can make money off of our own people, like, that's so cool. And that's how SCTV started. It was really good. I love Marin, and we're never gonna get through this. Oh my god. All right, Tremors 2 is fine. Obviously, you must have been talking about Tremors. But number 3 is viewable only when in the right frame of mind. I think that means when you're high. Number 4 is a waster of time. Number 5 is surprisingly watchable. I think after 2, because 2 was the one where they were like walking around like velociraptors.
That one, okay.
And that's where I was like, all right, I think I've seen enough of these Trevor's movies. Compared to number 3 or 4, at least some of the actors returned other than Gross for numbers 2 and 3. Yeah, I think they got like, I don't know.
Yeah, like a few of the smaller people.
The television series is mildly watchable. I didn't even know there was.
I knew there was, but I've never seen it.
If one is bored, the first Tremors film, of course, is great.
Well,
yeah, it's great.
I've never seen. I don't think I've watched any of the sequels like all the way through. I've seen bits. Maybe I've seen one of them, but not much.
Man, entertaining. I feel like now you have to as your Michael Gross extra credit.
Well, maybe some of my bonus stuff that I do. Honestly,
entertaining listening to you two gush on about Chris Pratt. Makes me curious to hear what you had to say about his starring roles in Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. That's amazing. Right. We were so ahead on Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Of course, he's incredible, and I want him to be the new Indiana Jones. Like, I'm hoping that somehow they figure out a way to pass on the mantle.
He's going to be Indiana Jones.
What?
Harrison Ford.
No, I'm saying that I think that when the mantle gets passed on, because it's going to have to at some point.
Here they officially announced
it's on. But I'm saying that when the mantle gets passed on, he needs to be the new one.
Please don't let George Lucas anywhere near that movie. Please don't.
They won't.
I don't know. They did last time.
I don't know.
They fired Frank Darabont, and he's like, I could do this, Steve. Aliens, monkeys.
Still like that movie.
Shia the Monkeys.
Still like that movie. All right.
Don't let him do it, Steve. I don't need Oscar-winning screenwriter Frank Darabont.
It's gonna be good. Don't worry.
We were gonna get to freaking Atlantis.
Maybe that's the next one.
It's gonna happen.
Maybe that's the next one.
I think they already burned that bridge, dude. But I have faith. I have complete faith.
I do.
Because it's also like a Force Awakens situation for me where like it's not going to be worse. So, yeah.
It's going to be good.
A film recommendation for you two, if you haven't seen it yet, of course. Thunderpants.
I have not heard of this before. It sounds fantastic, though.
Just the title alone. Oh, my gosh. I think it may be up your alley. It can be found cheaply on eBay, DVD. I do not know if it is streaming anywhere. It's a weird little flick about a kid born with uncontrollable flatulence.
It sounds amazing.
Have you seen Swiss Army Man yet?
No.
Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. No. I think it's on Amazon.
It's on something. It's on one of them, yeah.
It's definitely on something, man. It's so good. But this sounds amazing. We have to find this.
Yeah, okay, Thunderpants.
Also, that's a great title.
That's a fantastic title.
Because it's about a guy farting. Because I'm like, this movie isn't about somebody farting, but,
right.
but it is.
They missed their opportunity.
As for old video games, my cousins own a Commodore 64 on which we played Ghostbusters, Montezuma's Revenge.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
The Commodore 64 Ghostbusters, I feel like, was way better than the NES one.
May have been. But Montezuma's Revenge, I played
that's like an all-time great game. And a game based on the BC comic strip. That sounds amazing.
I had no idea that existed.
In second grade, I played a handful of games with the big floppy disks, including Waterline, which is one of our favorites, and Suicide Strike.
I don't know either of those.
Loved North and South on the NES.
Yes.
Which shows you that, again, we were talking about all the same things.
Yeah. Hasn't really changed.
I've never heard of The Party, one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, Brendan.
But may have heard some of their songs. You probably didn't, because unless you watched Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Well, then they had a cover of that, like of In My Dreams, which I think was like some metal song. It was like a Dawkins song, and they did a cover of it, and actually, I think it charted.
Okay, so it's possible.
But if you were like, I mean, they were. If you watch Disney Channel, they definitely saw them. Oh, you know what? You know what happened? Remember that Tommy Page, that like pop star guy from like the early '90s, died. The one that was on he was on Full House. He was on Mickey Mouse Club. He was on like every show for a minute. He just died. Sad.
I didn't know who that was.
He sang some song. He sang some song.
Yeah. Big.
I feel like we're gonna like continue next Thursday's episode with this letter.
All right, we might have to.
Brendan discusses the original Dark Shadows series. Man, I don't remember that. There are many more. Oh, because I think I tried to watch it, but it was all out of order. And also, it was all out of order on Netflix and missing episodes.
Yeah.
There are many, many more episodes on Hulu now.
Oh, okay.
I might check it out again. I checked out a DVD set a few years ago from a local library, which included the first 2 weeks when the vampire character appeared. I found it interesting as it felt a little like a classic serial comic strip series. My favorite part of the show was a certain character whose name now eludes me, who gets beaten and generally treated like crap nearly every episode, which I found increasingly comedic as the story continued.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm really excited. I want to watch this now. Music that one's mind finds replaying in a sort of hold position.
Because yours is Super Mario Brothers 3.
Well, it's Super Mario Bros. 3 and Baseball Stars.
Yeah.
The and oh yeah, dude. Songs one might find themselves humming while thinking about something or other. For me, those would probably be Bond 77 by Marvin Hamlish, Don't Worry Baby by Brian Wilson, and Friends Win from a Powerpuff Girls CD.
Nice.
Songs that have been stuck in my head for a day or more at times, from a Jack to a King, old country song, the James Bond theme, and the Haunted Mansion's Grim Grinning Ghosts.
I think that's always in my...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or then during Halloween, this is Halloween, this is Halloween.
Yeah,
and then then you sing other things to that,
yeah.
which, I had a good one, and I did it with you guys, and I made you and Janelle laugh really hard, and I forgot what it was. I don't remember. But stuff like that. Oh, Josh is here.
What's up, Josh?
Did you get a Switch?
Josh got a Switch. We're friends.
Oh, yeah, because, I heard they still have freaking friend codes.
Yeah.
That's so stupid! They're never going to get rid of those friend codes.
It's not a problem for me.
Because you don't want friends.
I don't want random friends.
But it's still, like, if you have to give me a code, I'm not adding you as a friend. I'm over
friends. Like, we're friends on any other stuff.
I know, but
you can add them through any
so
other thing.
annoying. I couldn't believe that when I read it. It's not like a deal breaker, but it's just
definitely
like,
not.
Come on, guys. Come on. All right, this is an interesting thing. All this talk of diet soda makes me wonder if you two have tried Coke Zero. Of course we tried Coke Zero, but there's just something about Diet Coke. I think it's an addictive chemical. I don't know what it is, because I like Coke Zero, but I love Diet Coke.
See, I don't care for the flavor of Coke Zero,
but which is really funny, and I think it's only because I feel like if anybody who didn't grow up on Diet Coke, there is no way you would pick Diet Coke over Coke Zero. It's just because as I have found is the fact, Diet Coke is the diet version of New Coke. That's why it tastes nothing like Coke.
Yeah.
Whereas Coke Zero is the diet version of actual Coke.
But it just doesn't do it for me.
Well, it doesn't really do it for me either, and that's why I drink Diet Coke. And I freaking love Diet Coke so much.
Okay, real quick, Josh in the chat says he got the Pro Controller for the Switch.
Yeah.
Have you found the secret message on the Pro Controller? You probably did, I'm sure. Okay. I'm not going to catch you on that, but it's cool.
All right, well, we got to wrap this up, and we're going to do part two.
Part two?
Mark's letter. And we got rock cards, and we got Marmaduke. And that might be our entire show next time.
Maybe we'll just do a bonus one of part 3 of the show.
Yeah, but we won't be releasing that till way later, so it won't work.
Next week. That could work.
I guess.
Because we got James Riley next week. So
maybe. I don't know.
Well, you got 30 seconds.
Because then we won't have any bonus episodes. We need bonus episodes.
No, this will be bonus.
No.
I'll prove it.
Because I don't like it. All right. No, I think you're right. I got it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com. Click the Amazon banner. Click all the stuff. $50 off dreamhost.com. Why are you still looking? We're going off of time.
What?
What are you doing?
No, you passed time. You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, but we're not doing it that way, remember?
Yeah, we are. You still have to earn them.
You didn't tell me that. You said we just had to be bought done by 11.
No, you have to earn them each one.
Holy crap.
You have 10 seconds.
Well, for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody.
Got it.
It's not bonus episodes. We just need to record for the whole.
The two of us,
we're going to be gone for like a month. So we need to record.
If we just do it as a part 3.
Well, then on Monday, we need to record a bunch of stuff.
Monday, we're going to record James Riley. And then we can record more stuff after that. Because his is only going to be like an hour.
But then everything's going to be like out of date.
We have to record early with James Riley.
Everything's going to be out of date.
I'll just be like 3 days later.
We're going to be behind.
3 days later.
I don't know.
Because James Riley, we have to record a little early. We have to do it. I think he said at 7. I'll double check. But
7 his time?
No, our time.
Okay.
Because it might even be like 6:30. So one way or another, we'll have extra time.
Definitely got to find out since that's coming up.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is we'll have time to do like another episode, like bonus stuff after that as well. Or, the regular episodes. So then we'll have that.
Stop the recording.
It's good. We'll be able to get a bunch more stuff in there. So we already have one in the can. Then we'll have this one. and then we'll have
we
time
just need
to do a couple more. Then
many.
We'll have. That'll give us at least like 4 extras.
This was number 310. What is this one called? Sing that song.
Sing that song, yeah. Sing that one song. Yeah, so in order to earn the bars, so you got one, but it's like Wheel of Fortune. So that's your first one.
But I don't get them.
You don't get it unless we complete the whole thing.
Is that peanut butter?
No, it's crispy. Oh, sorry to get you excited. So
it's my color blindness.
It goes in your bank.
That looks red to me right now.
It's green. That's
Are you
green.
serious?
Bright green.
What's wrong with my freaking eyes? No, it's my brain. Also, I just realized today that the last time I got a haircut was like when you guys got me that card for Supercuts. When was that?
I don't know. Like last year.
My hair's not growing anymore.
It's growing. It's long.
Yeah, but not nearly.
Not as much.
It should be so long right now. It should be so long.
Well, you probably don't want me to like start shaving.
No, I'm scared to get a haircut now. What if I get a haircut and that's it? It's over. I don't have any bald spots, do I?
I mean, not that I can tell.
Oh my gosh,
it's happening. It's
it's happening up here.
This way, but
it's
up
happening.
Here,
I'm gonna end up looking like spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Josh. Josh is not having any of that nonsense.
I'm sorry.
Look what you did.
I'm gonna shave it all off. I don't know if I'm ready.
Maybe it's time.
No, it's not time.
How much do you like Legend of Zelda, Josh?
Here, you guys talk.
It is. You get a drink. So I've only gotten to play probably about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours worth because the kids have been playing a bunch too, and so. They've been like, we each have our own game. So I started, and what was amazing is that I played and they watched me play, and then each of them did it, and they did completely different things, and they played for like a couple of hours each, and nobody did the same stuff. We're still all up on the plateau. We haven't gotten off. Are you off the plateau already? Oh yeah, okay. Again, like I said, we've been sharing it around and stuff, but it's amazing. I can only imagine because the plateau already feels huge. And like just looking out there, like it's so good. It's so good. And you're right. It's like the first one. You just set out. I mean, even down to like the guy at the beginning you talked to, like I was ready for him to say like it's dangerous to go alone kind of thing. But no, it has this amazing feeling to it. And like I feel like you have to get your hands on it to really feel how good it feels. Like being able to climb anywhere and do anything. And then, like, just some of the things you figure out you can do, just silly things like, you shoot an arrow and then you run over and you're like, oh, there's that arrow. Like, it's real. It doesn't just kind of, like, fade into nothingness. Okay, I'm reading your thing now. I'm not reading out loud. Yeah. I absolutely. It's mind-blowing. And I have only just seen a teeny tiny portion of it. But also seeing the kids figure out the stuff too, because I'll be like, oh no, you can't blah, blah, blah. And then like they'll do it and I'm like, oh, I guess you can do that. Like it's just nuts. It's so cool. So cool. I love it. And then what about is it I can't ever remember. Is it Clipper Snips or Snipper Clips? Whichever one it is.
Snippy Snips.
It's Snipper Clips, right?
Why are you asking me?
No. Snipper Clips. That's super fun, right? I mean, it definitely it gives you that multiplayer feel. Like it's one of those great, it's a good party thing. I got to get another set of controllers so we can do 4 players because it's super cool too. Yeah.
Josh is saying this stuff.
It is incredible. Like I should have brought it over. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I even got a case to carry it around in. I brought it to Big Bear. It's so cool.
So what other candies do I have coming down the pipe?
Well, let's see. Next in line.
Is that $100,000?
No. Snickers Crisper, a Milky Way, and a Twix at the end.
Oh.
But
I love that you put it in a dentist bag.
I didn't even think of the irony there.
Gonna need
what is Josh? Okay, the case. I got my case from that deluxe or from the collector set or where it was special edition. What problems are people having?
There are a lot of problems people are having.
I haven't heard any.
I've heard some like horror
what?
stories.
What things?
Just stuff.
Well, I'm just wondering, like what? Hold on. Oh, Josh is getting ready.
There was like a whole thing on. I read a whole Reddit thread. I read some other things.
About like what though?
Just people's like systems completely not working and other things and crazy like weird like operating system stuff and like other things.
Well, it wouldn't be the oh, what's this here?
Please take a look at how the game looks on screen. This is the new world of Zelda.
I don't think my Nintendo Switch is supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That is fucking loud. Highly annoying. What is that?
Can you imagine like getting your Switch and that's what it did?
Suck. I mean,
What is that?
these are the kinds of things that they're going to get replacements for, but it sucks.
Yeah, but dude, if this happened, you would be losing your mind. Your kids would be screaming.
Well, they would be screaming. They would be crying.
They'd be screaming.
Huh.
Yeah, there's like really bad stuff with the Joy-Cons.
Like what's with the Joy-Con?
They're saying that the failure rate with the Joy-Cons might be like astronomical.
Huh. All right. Well, we don't have. You want to watch all 12 minutes of it, but I get it. I get it.
It's like yeah.
He fixed the left one by finally put the Bluetooth sensor in backwards. That's funny. I mean, sad for the guy, but also funny that he figured that out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, hopefully they'll get that all ironed out because.
Put the left Joy-Con behind your back.
Yeah, I heard that about it's got to have like a line or contact or whatever line of vision. Can't think of words, but I don't know. I mean, to me though, like that part. I mean, the failure stuff obviously is really bad, and I hope that Nintendo handles that well. But like not being able to like hide it behind your back isn't a huge deal. I mean, that's like something that's easily like overcome. It's also stuff that they can, improve as it goes on, hopefully. So, but that does suck for the people that got
stuff that Nintendo fans were laughing at anybody that had like red rings of like that'll never happen with Nintendo. So
well,
I hope some of those guys are the guys that got broken Switches.
I hope that's probably. In fact, I'm pretty sure those are the only people that got them. So if you were ever rude about that, that's probably it's you. That's you guys. Sucks to be you.
8 feet away.
I'll watch the issue later. I have not had that problem though, because I don't sit that close to my TV. So I don't know. Interesting.
All right.
Definitely not like on all of them. This is, but obviously it's bad that any of them are getting out like that. So that's a bummer. All right, ready to start? Start next one.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
Trying to find this stupid thing.
Stopwatch. We still can make it.
No, it's looking bad.
Well, if we start promptly.
Where is that? See you later, Josh.
See you, Josh. I'm with you on that.
Do you just want to like cancel the podcast forever?
No, but I
Never
do want
do it
to. I
again.
do want to be prompt.
All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And it's Thursday now, and we still got to get through this letter.
Let's just jump right in.
We're in the middle of March. You and Josh were talking about the Switch, though.
Yeah.
Josh even loves Zelda.
He's had some, and Snipper Clips, too. Like, he's very...
What is Snipper Clips? I don't even know.
It's like a co-op puzzle, it's like an action puzzle game.
Okay.
You play these little guys. They are shaped kind of like the controllers, like the Joy-Cons, and you turn. You don't actually. It's not like motion controlled, but it represents that. You turn them with like the shoulder buttons, and you can cut each other. You're like made out of paper, right? And so there's different like modes. But like let's say there's a little outline that's shaped like a heart. So you have to figure out how to cut each other so that the two of you can stand together and form a heart.
Oh.
Or there's other ones like there's a button you push that makes a ball drop here, and there's a basket there, and you have to figure out how to get it into that basket, and you cut each other in different ways and form ramps and stuff, and you have to communicate. Like it's beautiful and it's so much fun, and I love it. And it's like a $20 one. It's not like it's a digital download one.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
So. Awesome. All right, we're still back in the past.
Jump in there with the letters here.
Mark Callback.
Don't call it a comeback.
All right. For Phil, you are not alone. I am not a fan of the past few Bond films. Except then he says the films that...
He says like opposite of me.
He says the opposite of you.
Still.
I enjoyed Casino Royale. You did not like Casino Royale.
No.
And think it's a good flick, just not a great Bond flick. And then he says, I thoroughly disliked Skyfall, which I loved Skyfall.
Yeah.
And thought Spectre was the worst Bond film ever made to this point. I didn't see Spectre.
See, I like Spectre not quite as much as Skyfall, but I liked it a lot.
Streaming,
I think it is, yeah.
Hulu. I don't know.
It's really good.
Bond films are really hit and
Javier
miss.
Bardem.
I know.
I like that one a lot.
Javier Bardem right now is selling that new Pirates of the Caribbean for me. Everything else, I'm just like, I do not care.
I didn't think I even saw the last one.
Well, I watched the last one for what's his face? From Deadwood.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, I just never got around to it.
And it's dumb. Is Mario's mic on? Yes.
There we go. What's up, Mario, in the chat? Yeah, I mean, so we don't see eye to eye on the new ones, and he didn't even mention Quantum of Solace because no one even remembers that was made because that
Quantum of Solace is garbage.
That's the garbage one right there. That's my least favorite James Bond movie of all time.
Why did our thing go orange?
I put that under the. I don't know. It's weird
because I left it on Mario, and for some reason Mario was orange. Andrew's
sad face again.
About Bond, probably.
I know, probably. But I love Skyfall. Skyfall was fantastic. And I put Spectre like just underneath that as far as the Craig ones.
Yeah.
None of them like reached the heights of like, Sean Connery and such. But anyway.
All right.
That's okay. We don't have to agree on everything.
And then he says Craig's not necessarily a poor actor, but after his Connery impression, Casino Royale, the character has been reduced to thug number in the following films.
Yeah, I don't care for his particular portrayal. I think he's fine as a thug. He just doesn't. I don't think of him as James Bond. Although he's gotten better. I think the more recent ones, like Spectre, was the most Bondy of his movies.
I still think they should have gone with Clive Owen.
I wish they had because he's genius. They
still
could.
Clive Owen's like not even. I don't even know what happened to Clive Owen.
He's just waiting. He's waiting to get that Bond call.
Children of Men was so good though, and if they had picked Clive Owen, I don't think he would have done Children of Men.
Maybe he could have done both. Bond guys do more than one.
Watch The International. All right.
Okay.
Love Clive Owen. I assume Phil collects so many clocks because all of his
right.
clocks as he wants to one day become Doc Brown.
I would be fine with that.
You may want to keep an eye on him, Brendan, so he doesn't wax. I just spit all over the You may want to keep an eye on him, Brendan, so he doesn't wax or grease his bathroom floor so as to facilitate a fall against the bathroom sink. He may well devise a secret to time travel, but this might be a dangerous health risk.
That's good. I will make sure not to wax the bathroom floor.
If you invent time travel, you have to tell me.
I will. Wait, if I pop in right now and say, Brendan, Phil.
I feel like if you had invented time travel, you already would have. So it didn't happen. You didn't do it.
But maybe I'm waiting till like next week.
I don't know.
I'm telling myself
now.
Why
would you wait till next week?
All right, if I invent time travel, I'm not coming back till next week.
Okay.
Just telling you right now. That's how we know it could be real, because I just now said
So
if
next
I
Monday,
did, I am
while
not
we're
coming back till.
will we be
Yeah.
done with James
I'll wait till
Riley?
after James Riley.
Hey,
Guys,
and then I'm like, Phil, there were so many things you could have stopped and you didn't do it. Well, now we can do it. And then like we get in the time machine and it won't work anymore. And then you're like, oh crap. So like you just wasted time travel on coming to us right now.
At the podcast. No, but I'll wait until I go home. So then you'll be like all alone, like you'll be like Brendan, and you'll be like, bah.
But then I'll just think it's. Would it be like? What if it? Yeah. What if it's? So it'd be like 90-year-old Phil.
I'll
in
still
my
have the
door.
same clothes. Don't worry.
Hey.
Brendan.
I'm like, why do you do it here of all places?
Just to prove you. Just to prove me right.
And then you just leave and then you never see
ya.
it again.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah. Told you so. That's all I'll say. Hey, Brendan. Told you so.
You take off. That'd be great.
All right, that's it. That's the plan.
And then I'm like, you could have stopped 9/11. No, I couldn't have.
No.
No. You know how hard that would be?
Yeah.
They talked about that on Reddit. Someone's like, if I had something, what would you do?
Yeah, there's no.
And then
like,
there's like all these situations. You wouldn't be able to do that? Oh, you're going to call somebody and be like, hey, this plane's going to blow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like
you'd
they don't get those calls
You'd have
every
to
day.
find your way on the plane, and somehow all the planes.
Yeah. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I once wrote a story in like elementary school about like I like was a time traveler and I went back to like stop Lincoln getting assassinated, but then before I did it, I was like, what if this makes things worse? And then I let it happen.
Oh, in elementary school?
Yeah.
Dang.
I was thinking like that.
That's pretty good. We should find that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was in my journal and I
Don't
lost
steal that
all
idea,
those.
anyone. That's really good.
Yeah. Because I posed as a Secret Service agent. I was there and I ended up letting him in.
What if this makes everything
Yeah,
worse?
because that's seriously like that was the thing. And then he thought, what if it makes it worse?
It's good.
And then later, like now I've read, like I don't think I've read, there are books about it, but that's a lot of books. But I have read like essays and things about like the path that what might have happened
Right. If
and
you
like,
hadn't been
you know-
assassinated. Well, I mean, there's
and then there's
lot.
all kind. It open, but again, but that is the whole thing. Like you're opening up a whole nother thing, and who knows? That's because then it goes back to the whole thing. Like because like the way that I stopped really like thinking about like, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that. Because I don't know what I was watching, but someone said, hey, if you had done that, maybe you would have gotten hit by a car. And
Yeah.
like, but it's true.
It's true.
Like if in this hypothetical, what if you hypothetically got hit by a car?
Yep.
And like, so there's no point in doing that because in this point you're here. You're like any other point could have gotten you to where you're not here.
Yeah.
You don't know. And like, so it's when you think about it that way, I'm like, well, then I guess it's not so bad. But I know there's definite times where I probably could have made a better decision. But then what if I made that better decision and then I got hit by a bus?
See? It's a good call.
It's always a good call.
It's always a good call. Don't change the past. Just go back to tell them I
Maybe
told you
there's
so.
sometimes where you could kind of maybe, I don't know. I feel like there's certain things where it probably would have been
Maybe.
okay.
Probably would have brushed my teeth a little more in my like junior high years. I go back and I'm like, dude, like just a little bit. Like
Just
not a
a
whole
little
lot. Just,
bit.
you know, don't get so many cavities. It's gonna make it really a pain in the butt later on. That's
Right.
it. That's all I'm changing.
On the subjects of clocks, man, we talked about clocks. It's because of your dumb clocks.
It is.
Brendan complains of the times varying for each timepiece. Oh, this is all your
Yeah,
clocks
at my
in
house,
your
they're
house,
all in different
causing
times.
him and others apparently to remain within the house longer than planned. Yet minutes later, he suggests a 24-hour podcast marathon at Phil's house, which made me laugh as I assume it would quickly become a 36-hour marathon due to the faulty chronometer readings.
Yes, it's all part. When you walk into my house, it's like its own like time warp thing. I even mess
It's like a
myself up.
casino.
It is. I don't want you to know what time it is. I'm in control.
There's no, the windows are never open, like the
That's
curtains
right.
are never
It's
open.
always drawn, so you don't know what time it is. It
There's
is.
no
We
clocks.
don't open our shades.
They ply you with treats.
Yep. And entertainments and loud noises.
And the moment you're about to get up, he has something in his back
he's all got it
pocket.
ready. I got the
Oh.
to-go table. I got the candy jars. I got video
And
games.
just keep you
got
there
movies.
all night. Your brother Matthew is the funniest because he gets so mad.
I know.
Oh, but he's still-
Yep.
and then it gets to the point where you're both asleep. Like,
Yeah, that's usually how it ends.
with all the sequel talk, that same episode and others, what would you guys like to see in a Back to the Future 4 movie? Man, I don't know.
I mean, either, well, because if you want to like continue, they have to do something else with their family.
Yeah.
We've gone into the future, maybe either further back, like way back.
Yeah.
You know, like 100 years kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
they went back 100 years, like 200 years.
200 years.
Because they're Irish.
Yeah.
Go back to Ireland, but they're in. It's got to be in the
It
same
has to
town.
be right
though.
there. So if you went back too far, it'd
Yeah.
just be nothing.
I don't know. Maybe just like they go to the future and it's now.
Yeah.
And like dealing with like, so it would really be the present, which
Yeah.
is genius because that's how they did a whole entire time travel movie without really having like to show time travel sci-fi stuff, because it's just, you know what I mean. Aside from the car,
They showed tons of super futuristic stuff at the
no,
time.
I'm saying the original one.
Okay.
They're in the original one. So
They
the
went
second
back.
one, they went back, right? That's what I'm saying. So they did a time travel movie without having to show
Yeah.
like a lot of crazy
And
technology.
then they went and did that.
Then they did that. So in the new one, it's they go from their 1985
and it's now.
and they come to now.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to see.
But unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, in many ways, it's not going to happen.
But
It is sad.
But it's also like it's probably for the best, because what if it's
Well, right. I mean, that's a perfect trilogy of movies, and I don't want them to mess that
and
up.
like, but it sounds like, I don't know, because like I could see, because like Zemeckis is kind of off doing his thing, but like at some point, if him and Bob Gale are just like, let's do it,
I would be totally on board,
then you'd
but
have to have Michael J. Fox, and I don't think.
well, yeah. So
I don't think the
couldn't
world
be-
even wants to see that. I
Yeah.
don't really want to see that. No offense to him or anybody.
Well, it couldn't be 1985, obviously. It would
but
have
even
to be.
like it'd have to be like, because he's like, you saw him at the Oscars.
Yeah, he's. I don't
He's
think
not in the greatest of shapes.
No. So it would be tough.
Number 4, visit Michael Gross in Trevor's 5, and he's like, and Martin Fly's like, "Who the heck are you?" And Michael Gross is like, "Who are you?" And like,
There you go.
that'd be
Mario
amazing.
wins.
He
Mario
gets up in
wins.
Trevor's world.
Yep, that's it. That's the answer. I can't believe we didn't come up with that on our own.
Oh, that'd be great.
You win chat for tonight, Mario.
I would be so down for that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Brendan complains of concert ticket prices. I see nothing has changed. You should see MJF in The Good Wife. He's great.
Yeah.
I've seen some of it. Well, he was great. The Michael J. Fox show was great. I'm still bummed that got canceled.
And his stuff on Curb,
Oh, dude,
was
Curb was
some of the best
amazing.
stuff ever.
He's great.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Well, it just changes
Yeah.
It doesn't fit within the
you
universe.
can't have Marty McFly.
Right.
Like-
It changes it fundamentally. So
It's sad, but it's not like, it's just sad.
yeah,
Like,
it is.
and it's also like not fair.
It's not. It really isn't. But I think that's part
Because
of what.
when you think about the two most famous people that got Parkinson's, is like Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox, and you're like, why? Like that Parkinson's sucks. That's how bad Parkinson's sucks. It turned like one of the greatest fighters of all time into like he could barely like, and then like Michael J. Fox, like it's just like, oh, Parkinson's sucks so bad.
It's why though he is so inspirational that he's done so much about it,
and he's really like raised so much money and awareness, and he's fighting so hard.
Yeah.
And you could tell, and he's still so. Did you see the Oscars thing? It was so great.
No, I just saw like a little thing,
Like,
just
the DeLorean pulls up like on the stage in the Oscars, and Seth Rogen and him gets out, and Seth Rogen's wearing the shoes, and he's just like, I think I could die now because I'm on the stage of the Oscars with a DeLorean and Michael J. Fox. Like, I think I'm good now, you guys. And it's true. And then they sang like a song from Hamilton, and that was really funny.
that's awesome.
And I don't know, it was really great. MJF once mentioned that for the next future film, he wanted to the Doc. What, he wanted to be the Doc?
Oh, that would make sense.
He wanted to the Doc. I don't know what you're trying to say there.
I think he says to be the Doc. Like he takes over the mantle of the Doc role.
Okay.
Something like that.
I
That's
can see that.
interesting. All
Well,
right.
because Doc's like gone, but he has that train.
Yeah, so he can come back.
But at some point, how does that work? Like he's gonna die, but he could end up dying. Like, what if Doc dies? His kids and I hope he teaches his kids and his wife to die that train, because he's definitely gonna outlive his wife and kids. What if they're like in prehistoric time? Doc has a heart attack.
Well, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, crap, we don't know how to drive this thing. And then they're just, Claire and the kids are just stuck somewhere. They're like, oh, crap, we got to figure this out.
Well, and that's why she becomes an alcoholic, because they all die, and then she goes to Malibu and lives in a house with a bunch of people. That's the future.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it.
That's great. And Jules and Vern died in the virus.
There you go. See?
That's how that ties in.
That's how it all ties in.
Her real name is Claire. Claire
Yeah.
Clayton.
Well, of course, she's not going to go by that
Yeah,
name.
no.
Because there's already a Claire on the show.
She's a teacher?
Yeah. I think so.
No, she's like a chef.
Oh, maybe so. I can't
Still.
remember now. Or a nurse?
I don't know.
I think she had like some medical experience.
Maybe.
I can't remember now.
Michael J. Fox could be Professor X in a wheelchair.
It's true.
There you go.
All right. What else we got here?
Brendan complains about
Concert tickets,
concert
that's right.
prices. I've been to very few concerts. I live too far away from most concerts I would ever want to see. I wanted to go. That's okay. We do too now. I would go to one of the Beach Boys 2012 reunion tour concerts. Man, I wish I could have gone to that. But as he says, not only was it over 200 miles away, it was $200 for the cheap seats.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Simply could not afford it. I actually tried to buy tickets. It was another time I was going to like surprise you, but those things sold out like like 2 seconds. Because that, like, I feel like that's never going to happen again.
No.
Like, it's crazy that it happened. Because I feel like they even did like a thing where I think they broke up again in the middle of that tour.
Yeah,
like,
they just can't be around each other.
Well, it's mostly Mike Love is a freaking jerk face.
Can you imagine spending like $200 for an entertainment thing?
We'll talk about that. Hey, you did it too.
I know. I'm just being funny.
Oh.
I just was using the opportunity.
This thing is so. I don't even know if I don't feel comfortable talking about it, but we have to talk about it.
It's up to you. You don't
We're
have
definitely,
to. I won't make you.
Once those, it's gonna hit the Facebooks, and people are gonna be
know.
like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
We'll talk about it if we have time.
Well, yeah, I'll leave that up to you.
Some major events have transpired. That's your teaser.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he said went to a Weird Al concert.
Oh yeah. Simply could not afford it. Went to a Weird Al concert in 1999 or 2000 for $20. It was great. Weird Al is always affordable. He does the county fair thing.
Yeah.
Even his Greek theater tickets weren't that expensive. Weird Al's great.
It's good.
Speaking of Weird Al, he made an appearance on the My Brother and Me TV show.
Oh yeah.
Notice how again I'm sneaking all of my TV stuff.
Yeah, I did see that.
My Brother and Me TV show is so good. Everybody should at least get the CISO trial. It's 6 episodes.
Let's watch that.
So good because it's basically like these guys got to make a show about their podcast and like it's so freaking funny
and Weird Al's
and
on
so good. And Weird Al's, he's in the last episode, but it's so good. Everybody, it's so good.
Can we make a show about our show
I know.
so we can meet
well,
Weird
then I'm
Al?
thinking about like we need to do Radio BrendoMan the show. Like it wouldn't even be that hard. Like we could totally do a Radio BrendoMan show. It's so good. It's so good. Andrew, it's so good, right? Have you watched all the episodes? It's so good. I love it. Love it so much. I've already watched the whole 6 episodes like twice. It's really funny.
Good show.
They have their dad in it, and because they go back to their hometown, and they're like going around like it's kind of like Portlandia, like the mayor of their town is in it,
Really?
and like all these they're doing all these funny things and all around their town.
That's cool.
It's so funny. Like there's definitely a Portlandia vibe, but it's just so them. And
is it like they're really in it?
Yeah,
like it's them.
it's them as them doing,
Okay.
and they do their show, but then they do like all these like little skits and other things. It's so funny, and they are just so funny. And I'm like that because they answer advice questions, but not always. Some of them, like the teenager episode, it's just bonkers. Like like there are a couple of I think you would love it.
Okay.
You don't even have to listen to the podcast to like.
Just to like
it definitely helps because like now I'm like, oh, I love these guys because I already like really love these guys, and then just seeing them in person because I had never seen them before. Like I don't know, like hearing, I don't know, it's weird. But then but you could totally just watch it. It's so good. It's so good.
All right.
Wayside Stories is brought up, and I had to chip in my 2 cents. My favorite story is the one about Sammy, the dead rat.
Yeah. There's a whole like running theme of
the
dead
rat.
rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a big, like, puffed up, like, in a bunch of layers of clothes, and he keeps taking out the layers of clothes, and underneath is a dead rat.
Yeah.
And he's been talking the whole time. But there's a lot of, like, there's dead rats that live in the basement, and I love that. I love this story so much.
So good.
So good.
I was talking about the time that Louis Sachar came to our school.
Really, that's awesome.
That was pre-Holes.
Yeah.
He's got that Hollywood money now.
Yeah, he's past that now.
Because I remember that was like, we had a few authors come to our school. I mean, of course, I've talked about it, but like Ray Bradbury came to our school, but other ones like that girl, the lady that wrote, there was like that book about the pigs, the Three Sillies. It was like a big illustrated popular book.
I know that one.
She came, and Stephen Kellogg.
Oh, I know that name.
He like wrote all those awesome books, like illustrators, big illustrator.
Okay.
And then my mom and dad took us to an event. But we had to. I remember we drove for like an hour, and Stan and Jan Berenstein were there.
Oh, that's cool.
And I met Stan and Jan Berenstein.
Nice.
And I was like, "This is awesome," and they were really cool.
Did they tell you Brendan and too much TV?
And they said our name is it is Berenstein. We're in an alternate dimension. You know that whole thing, right?
No.
Oh, you don't know this?
What?
Oh, it's a rabbit hole that you'll ever. So you know, like the whole like. People are convinced that the Berenstein, like it used to be spelled differently, and that's proof. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And some people use that as proof that we're in some alternate timeline.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The
now.
Berenstein.
Yeah, right.
And when I met him, they're like, "It's really Berenstein." What if they did that?
I just wasn't subtle enough to get your joke there. That would be crazy.
And the Mandela effect, which that to me is nuts.
Well, if I go in the future and I come back, I'll make sure to have a word with the Berenstein.
Because the new one, which I think is just people are racist and they don't want to admit it, is the Sinbad Kazam thing that they're convinced that Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam.
What?
It's just because they're confusing Sinbad and Shaq and
that's just racist.
Yeah,
that's not an effect.
Yeah, they're trying to say that's the
racist effect.
That's why I said I'm like that's all these people that are like that were racist that don't want to admit it.
I mean, maybe you just forgot who was in it or something.
But to try and be like that's proof.
No, like, that's proof that you don't know the difference between black people. That's all. That's terrible.
Yeah, but that's definitely.
And it was terrible too. I mean, to be fair,
dude, how did this get made for Kazam is so good. It's so good. All right.
Phil's right. Start with where it says Phil's right. I like that one.
There's a few of these. There's just something about reading an actual book, which will always be better than electronic book device.
Amen.
I agree with that, but I also love not having to have books everywhere. And I've read, it is a fact that my reading amount has like skyrocketed. That's
definitely true.
Since I switched to ebooks.
That's definitely true.
Like, I have consistently read over 70 books a year for the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
And before that, not that many. Not nearly that many.
I get that, but I still like the books.
I like the books, but I just...
Frankenstein. Yeah.
The same goes for me when I'm hunting down a book. Well, I love hunting down books.
Yeah.
I like getting just the right edition copy if possible. I also like to feel the size of the book. Even the feeling of the style of paper and binding, something online shopping fails to reproduce. Amen. I love going to bookstores.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I could have stayed when we discovered that whole like downstairs of the freaking
oh my gosh.
The bank of books.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Holy crap.
I love bookstores.
Like I can't wait to go back there because that was crazy. And we found that really weird copy of Princess Bride with like Buttercup, naked Buttercup.
It was like it looked like some like
it was so weird.
Conan book or something like that, but it was Princess Bride.
It was nuts.
That was weird.
Episode number 23, Phil discusses Pokemon Snap a little, which made me wonder if you guys went nuts over the crazy Pokemon Go craze for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if nuts is the right word. I was into it. I still have it on my phone.
Yeah.
But I never got it quite as much as everyone did, but played it for a while.
Well, as you'll hear later, our friend Alex got to like the highest level you could.
Yeah.
He was like just I think he still is pretty into it.
It's fun. Like it wasn't like
Andrew
bad.
was pretty into it.
But it just,
I can only imagine the herds of phone-absorbed Pokemon hunters were even thicker where you guys live.
Oh, we've seen some stuff, definitely.
I remember, Comic-Con.
Comic-Con was nuts. The craziest one was in Arkansas for me, because we were walking down the street, and I'm like, are these like street toughs? What's going on out here? It's like late at night. There's these gangs of teenagers, and all of a sudden I realized, like, oh, they're all playing Pokemon right now. Oh, my gosh. And all of them had Pokemon.
I remember leaving the building in which I worked late at night around 1 to 2 a.m. and seeing random people stumbling around the streets and sidewalks in the dark like zombies, their eyes glued to their phones. It was a little strange.
Yeah, It was definitely a unique phenomenon in like video game world.
And Andrew says he was really into it because there were so many Pokestops at my school.
And that makes sense. I mean, if I had it in
If you're gonna
college,
get
I would have gone nuts.
I would have gone nuts. But like out here, the closest Pokestop is pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, like down by a town hall and stuff there. But even still, it didn't quite catch me the same way. I don't know. I didn't feel the urge to catch them all. I caught a lot, but not all.
Episode number 26. Brendan discusses his hatred for the theater-going experience this episode. Again, things
I think
do
you're
not
going to
change.
hear that a lot.
Using as an example the TED experience.
That's almost ruined you.
That was kind of the ruiner.
Yeah.
That really broke me quite a bit because I had never left a theater. I don't think I'd ever. I think I talked about probably now. I'm telling them something again. The last time before TED that I had left a movie was The Bear, and that was because I just couldn't handle like after the mom died and all this other stuff.
Both of which are about bears.
Yeah,
we probably talked about that on there too.
We're having the exact same conversation right now.
This is like very Inception of us.
But yeah, and that also because that led to my hatred of all animal movies.
I want to go back now and listen. Episode 26. I would be willing to bet I made that exact same joke.
You married that joke
because whenever we watch old home videos, like with my family, and I'll like crack a joke,
and then you'll say it on the
me
screen.
in the past says it again.
It's the weirdest
all the
thing
time.
in the world. All right, so because that's the one where, dude, there were people on the phones. There was a Joker. I had every bad person.
Plus it was Ted,
and it was Ted, and that movie sucked. During Avengers 2, I found myself sitting surrounded by some guys, ages ranging from late high school through early college, who are clearly comic book fans. I stayed quiet and pretended I didn't know much of anything as pertained to Marvel Comics, and was entertained as they occasionally informed me during the movie why certain things or scenes were cool in the movie. Oh my gosh.
That's obnoxious and also kind of funny though.
But like, just hey stranger, we're gonna tell you that's those tools. That's like they're probably like stereotypical comic book guys. I'm like, you're what's wrong with our whole culture. Stop it.
It is funny though, like at the end of those, like when they have that stinger, seeing the people, like the boyfriends. It's often, not always, but often there's a boyfriend leaning to a girlfriend.
Seeing people get up during Marvel movies as soon as I'm like,
where are you
going?
Do
you even Marvel, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Don't you know anything?
My worst theater experience was when I went to see Major Pain with a friend of mine, a film which, by the way, Phil, cover your ears. By the way, it doesn't hold up.
I don't know.
Phil loves that movie.
It's fine.
It's one of those movies that you definitely made me watch.
Well, I'm watching. Yeah, I mean, that's Matt Moss was super.
Oh yeah, that was Matt Moss.
I liked it, but
Matt loved Damon Wayans.
Yeah, that was Matt's. And I liked it.
Chris Owen from Angus.
Yeah.
The kids behind us were laughing, talking, and farting loudly.
Gross.
Oh my gosh. As if that wasn't bad enough, they began kicking my seat. That's game over, man.
Yeah.
That is game over. That would be instant Brendo Hulk out. Because when a kid kicked my seat, and this is adult Brendo, I started kicking this kid's seat. Grown-up Brendo kicked the kid's seat.
Wait, how? Was he behind you?
I went and sat behind him and started kicking his seat.
This is adult Brendo?
This is like 2 years ago, Brendo. This might have been during Ant-Man. I was so mad at this kid. Because he would not. I gave him a glare, and I'm like, okay, fine. I got up, sat behind him, and just the whole movie. The whole movie.
Gosh.
I was like, you're here. And at one point, he even complained to his mom, and his mom didn't believe it.
An adult would never kick you, son.
Like, I'm not going to stop.
Hey, Quinn's in the chat. He says he's been digging through the archives as well with the intent to re-listen when we talked about Monkey Shines for Freaky Movie of the Week. Just found it. And yes, that movie is amazing.
If you watched Monkey Shines, Quinn, because you have to watch.
Yeah, because I hadn't watched it until further show.
Yeah, I had never watched it either. Because as a kid, I was terrified of that movie.
That movie is
nuts. It's crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
That box cover.
Oh, Quinn says he recommended it. Okay. That's why we watched it then.
Okay.
Because that's why I knew I hadn't watched it until the show. So
because I knew about it. I just refused because that was the scariest of box covers as a kid.
Oh yeah. I'm still, every time I see those monkeys, like it's instant scary.
And then the fact that like
it's not cute.
And then it's like I was expecting something goofy, and I'm like, no, that's a freaking killer monkey.
Yeah.
The monkey.
It's terrifying.
He's got the freaking knife. It's a monkey with a knife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Now, like capuchins, like I'm never gonna look at them the same
Well,
way
plus,
ever again.
Wasn't the cover? To
It was the
is
freaking
the
like
monkey with
thing,
the symbols, right? Yeah.
And between that and Skeleton Crew, like Stephen King, but yeah, and How It Is Made Gimme did a monkey shop.
Oh,
It's
nice,
really good.
nice.
All right. So yeah, so he's talking about the kicking
Okay,
seat,
so they're kicking feet,
showering me with popcorn and pennies. Oh my gosh. Making jokes about me, putting gum in the hood of my sweatshirt, and touching the back of my neck with wet fingers. Oh, this is just a straight up bullying.
This is like bullying
situation.
Well, because I don't know how old he is, but if this was major pain, this is like probably high school.
When at last I can contain myself no longer, I stood, turned around, and grabbed the main offender by the collar of his shirt. I pulled him close and yelled in his face. This shut them up for a while, but eventually they began to occasionally threaten me, whispering that they were going to get me or beat me up after the movie was over, but they never did. Oh, man.
Wow, that's horrible. I mean, if you had a cell phone, like that's like police territory, right? Like I would.
Well, plus, like,
but I mean, back then
get the
they're
manager.
Well, right, I'd get your money back, but that's the worst. Teenagers are jerks. Like that's just all that, you know. Yeah. Not all of them. There's some great teenagers, but teenagers can be jerks.
I think I told this story on the show, but when my brother and I were kids living in this apartment complex, we didn't realize till later the severity of the situation we were in, because at the time we just thought it was like, oh, ha, ha. But we were like, we used to hang out in like this tree area by our apartments, and we were hanging out with some kids, and then like this group of like, I think they were like straight up punks, like punk kids,
right?
And they were like way older, and they came, and at first like we thought they were, and like at the whole time, I still think the whole time we thought it was like, aha, we're hanging out with these people, and they were like straight up like flicking cigarettes at us.
Oh man,
like all this other stuff, and we just like wrote it. I'm like, I don't think. I seriously think we could have been in like a really, really bad situation, but at some point I think we were like, aha, and we were like, they were like, oh, let's play with these kids, like let's mess with them, and we were like, aha, because we were super young. I was like 7, and then at some point I think my mom just was like, oh, time to come in, and we did, and then like years later my brother's like, those dudes were flicking cigarettes at us, bro. Like, who knows what would have happened?
Really bad.
Like, who knows what would have happened if, like, my mom hadn't, like, called them? Like, where was that headed?
Well, bullying is not cool. So don't let people bully, and don't bully. That's good.
All right, we got the last word.
This is great.
Holy crap, I've actually seen Phil's freaky movie selection for this episode, The Van. I remember very little of it. I don't even know what that is.
That was the one. I found it because we were in Alaska in like a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and the dude that we rented the cabin from had all these VHS tapes you could borrow for free. And I found this movie called The Van from the 70s. It looked nuts, and I watched it late at night. It's totally like dirty, but also really funny, and like such a like 70s. Like there's never been a more 70s movie made than this movie. That's great. That's funny that he's seen it, because like I don't think anybody saw that movie.
Well, there you go. We are definitely going to have to continue this.
Yeah, we'll do 3-parter.
Next week. Next Thursday, because next Tuesday is going to be author James Riley.
Well, we could do it and then put his to be on the front on a Thursday. That way it's sequential.
So we'll do a new one. We'll continue this on Tuesday, and then James Riley will be on Thursday.
Yeah. We still have 10 minutes on this one.
Yeah, but we're definitely
he said nice things at the end. You have to read the end of it.
What? Keep it up, guys, and thanks for the show.
Smiley face.
Smiley face. Well, you keep being our correspondent from the past.
We love it. We love it.
5 years ago. Hope it's how is life in 2012?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Seemed like we're doing pretty good for ourselves.
Yeah. Man, Luke was like 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all nostalgic.
2-year-old Luke.
Oh. Man.
I was living in Irvine.
Yeah.
With the Croge. Now Steel.
This is cool. I seriously do like it. I want to make sure he knows.
Like, we still talk about all this.
Yeah, stuff. I mean, there's a lot of recurring themes that have not changed.
I love that he's like, if you guys talk about, we talk.
Oh, don't worry.
I also want to know what happens when he gets to like the 3-4 hour episode.
There was like a 5-hour one in there. I'm pretty
definitely.
Sure. When he gets to that, I want to hear it. He'd be like, dude, you guys shut up. Like stop. Enough.
Stop talking about Disneyland. Oh my gosh.
You didn't know what you asked for.
Oh.
You know what I asked for?
I asked for listening to my podcast on Stitcher.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah. pretty great.
It super is.
And you can listen to all the podcasts from the Benview Network, too.
Of which there are many.
There's so many. Like your episode of Alex P. Keaton is My Friend that you did this week with Derek Armijo from the podcast The Popsicles.
That's right.
And you could check that out.
It's really funny.
You also got your Mandarian. When's the next Mandarian Orange show?
Tomorrow. Yeah. It's already recorded. I half edited it, and I'll post it tomorrow.
Like falling behind.
I know. Well, Janelle's been busy. It's Moolah time.
Moolah time.
And as you know, Moolah takes precedent over everything. We recorded it, and I'll talk about my nuts a weekend.
Sure, check out Benview on Spielberg on the Terminal.
Oh,
yeah. Did you like that movie?
I like the Terminal.
I liked parts of it. I don't like Catherine Zeta-Jones like at all.
What?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Dude, she's in so many good movies.
She is in good. Okay. She's good in some things, and then the things that she's not good in, she's just really annoying.
Like what?
Like that America's Sweethearts.
Oh, I love that movie.
I love that movie, but I don't like her.
Awesome. Oh,
well, because she's supposed to be annoying, so that might be why I can tolerate her in that.
No.
I love that movie, though.
What about she's in High Fidelity?
I know, and I love that.
It's Charlie.
But when she plays the kind of annoying, that's where I'm fine with it. But when she's supposed to be like endearing, and she can't. She's not endearing to me.
This is my same argument about Meryl Streep.
Dude, Streep is so much better than her.
No.
Although she's great in Traffic, and she won an Oscar for Traffic.
Also, the Zorro movie. Come on.
The first one's okay.
No,
the second one is
great.
awful.
The first one is great, and the second one is just okay.
No. Second one sucks. No. I couldn't even make it through that movie.
Dude.
I didn't like the second one at all.
This makes me sad.
Makes you sad?
She's great.
No, she's just all right.
She's also, not hard to look at.
Doesn't affect my opinion of her.
It may not, but she's still good. But you know what?
What?
The artist. I was trying to tie it in.
I don't know what you're doing.
If you want to make a website about how good Catherine Zeta-Jones is as an extra, you could do that.
Yeah. How could you do that?
You could do that by getting DreamHost to host your website. If you go to radiobrendo.com and click the DreamHost link, you can save $50 from your hosting, and that's a good deal.
Well, there you go. And you can also save money by subscribing to Amazon Prime. If you're not sure you want to do that yet, you can get a free 30-day trial, and that gives you full access to Prime, which includes unlimited free 2-day shipping with no minimum order size. You got Kindle Library. You got the Amazon Prime Instant Library, which includes my newest obsession, Unsolved Mysteries. The first 2 seasons of Robert Stack Unsolved Mysteries is on there.
And you said they have updated, like
they have new updates.
New updates.
Like new updates. And there's a website.
Did they make it like for Amazon? Like did Amazon do it?
I think whatever company that did this, because it's for streaming. Cool. They made a website. You can go on and talk about all that. I've been on this website, dude.
I believe that.
It's great.
That's awesome.
And then like the new updates are fascinating. They'll be like, this guy got convicted because these are from like 1982,
right?
So like
following
early
it up
80s
now,
or like the 70s. So like some of these are like super old. So the follow-ups are like, this guy spent 30 years in jail and then he died, or this guy got caught and then he got released, or this person did this, or this did that, or we found these guys finally after all these years. And then other ones, there is no update, and you're like, oh man,
unsolved.
It's unsolved still. And as Robert Stack, he just is always just like so in your face, like, you might know. You might solve the mystery. Every mystery has somebody out there knows. It might be you. Is it you? Oh, God, it's me. Oh, I swear. Oh, Robert. It's just like, like that music.
Theme song.
Like, it's just like, whoa. It's very
Stranger Things-esque.
Yeah, dude.
Or vice versa,
absolutely.
I suppose.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I saw, because right before you, they had a 2-part, what's his face?
DB
Cooper, full reenactment.
That's amazing.
It's so great.
I love the story of DB Cooper.
Oh my gosh, it's great. It's so great.
I wonder if I saw that like as a kid, and that's why I'm obsessed with it.
I love that show. That
Because I watched that show as a kid.
because it was on freaking Lifetime like 24/7, which is so weird. And so I'm like, I tweeted today. I'm like, hey, I don't know why Unsolved Mysteries was on 24/7 on Lifetime, but thanks, ladies. And like, it gave me like this weird idea about women because like the only things I ever saw on Lifetime are Unsolved Mysteries and then Shop Till You Drop and Supermarket Sweep. So it's like, hey, women love murder and shopping.
Well,
Like.
this is fine things to like.
That's cool, but it
Sure,
just gave me
great.
this weird idea of like so this is what women are into because it's their network.
That's what they say.
And it's at least in 1990 it was just Unsolved Mysteries and Supermarket Sweep all the time.
Regardless of whose network it is, they have to find something to put on there.
So, I mean, and then like Unsolved Mysteries might have like been responsible for my anxiety because I feel like. First, you're like basically the lessons that Unsolved Mystery teaches you are if you go outside, you will be murdered or kidnapped.
Right.
But if you stay inside, there's angry ghosts, or you might get abducted by aliens. But hey, there might be a buried treasure in your basement.
So that's cool.
Just watch out for those angry ghosts down there. So thanks, Unsolved Mysteries. Because seriously, like I'm like, if I go outside, I will get kidnapped.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
murdered.
They definitely had that vibe.
You go out, there's bad things out there. Like you will get killed.
You know where there's good things.
It definitely taught never hitchhike ever.
Well, duh.
But people do it all the time.
Not as much as they
Not
did
anymore.
back then, though.
Well, that's because everybody got killed.
Yeah. They figured
It only took hundreds of murders for like maybe we shouldn't do this anymore.
Right.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It did take a while though,
Yeah.
because half of Unsolved Mysteries like so and so was hitchhiking. Why are you doing that?
Stop hitchhiking.
That was all my Unsolved Mysteries material.
That's good. You gotta work it out on the show here. But you know what you can work out is buying stuff that will help us through Amazon.
But if you want that Amazon Prime free trial to watch that sweet Unsolved Mysteries, oh my gosh, there's only 3 minutes.
That's why I was trying to get on it. We can do it.
Go to RadioRender.com, click that Amazon Prime free trial. You should also click the Amazon banner while you're at it. We're going to power through this Amazon stuff because when you click on that Amazon link, you're getting us money. We had our biggest Amazon month
it was great.
ever this month.
Was that like from December?
It was from December.
Yeah.
But still, that was huge.
Fantastic.
Get some big dollars there.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you for clicking on it. It's the best way you can support us. And you can buy stuff, and then we talk about it. And we got a Cena Snow Talk, 10-meter Snow Talk, long-range Bluetooth intercom and stereo headset with medium headband.
So I'm playing game. That's like a gaming headset, I'm thinking.
I think it's like a actual microphone. It's like a microphone.
Yeah, but it's got a headset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like on the mountain. I think it's like for like you put over your like
easy to use in snowy conditions.
I think like it's like a Bluetooth headset.
Oh, like for driving?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or like when you're outside, like skiing.
Oh.
Like if you're skiing.
Yeah,
skiing or running in this because it's like
funny.
Because it's like a freaking headband.
Okay.
Like you put it in the headband.
So if you need to call your mom while you're skiing.
But it's like earmuffs.
That's cool. Keeps your ears warm.
With a Bluetooth headset inside it.
Sweet.
Because I did think like, what if you're skiing, and then like, what if your phone rings and it's
you gotta swipe your
this way? You got your headset on, and you're just all good.
Nice,
dog.
All right. What else to get?
We got a Tom's of Maine Natural Care natural deodorant stick.
Okay, someone wants to smell good.
ThinkWare channel dash cam, front and rear 1080p HD dash cam.
Interesting. They're gonna make like a YouTube channel. What is that for? I wonder.
It's for like your car.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what? Like, they gotta be using it for something.
Maybe to do videos.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what else would you have it for? Unless you're like a policeman.
Maybe they're a policeman.
Maybe he is a policeman. Why are they buying their own stuff?
Sometimes.
Maybe the government listens to our show.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Kindle Paperwhite e-reader, black 6-inch. I think this is Brian's because he lost his.
Oh, okay.
But it could be somebody else.
Andrew says everyone in Russia has a dash cam for crashes. Oh, I guess for insurance purposes or whatever. Okay, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I'm only thinking of entertainment.
That makes sense. So you have a record of it?
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Herb preserve 1/4 ounce capacity jar, black ultraviolet. Oh, this is
someone's jarring things.
Somebody's jarring certain things. This is for weed.
15 seconds.
This is for weed. Oh my gosh.
You can do it. You can do it.
Moco case for Kindle Paperwhite.
Oh, that's for the thing. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for buying everything.
Thank you so much for buying everything, and thank you for listening to Radio BrendoMan this week. And part 3 will be on Tuesday, and then next week we've also got James Riley. And we thank you guys. Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com for all the other stuff. Thank you. Oh, we're gonna be at Los Angeles Comic Book and Sci-Fi Con on Sunday. This Sunday, we're gonna be selling lots of stuff. Be there. And for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. Did I make it?
You made it.
All right.
I didn't set the timer, but
We didn't do John Goo Bang Doo on either.
Oh man.
Oh crap.
Next one.
Oh crap.
So next one. Okay, so then we got part 3 will be the finishing of it.
But it's only gonna be a half hour.
Yeah, but we only need a half an hour to finish.
But then they're only gonna get a half-hour episode.
That's okay. Well, they're only going to get half an hour while we're on vacation.
Nobody's complaining.
So then what we can do...
On vacation. Well, then on Monday...
So Monday we can record with John, or with James,
yeah.
And then we can do our 2... No, we can do 2.
Bonuses.
So then what you can do, we could do like our 2 regular episodes.
Next week.
And so we do those for Thursday and Monday. And then we've got at least 3 more banked already.
Yeah.
So that's going to put us in pretty good shape.
It'll put us in good shape. 311. What's this one going to be called?
311. I don't know.
Work Gert.
Oh, what did Mario had a really funny joke? We should use his joke.
Number 4 visited Michael Gross and Trump. That's not a title.
Oh yeah. That was funny though.
Need a title.
Back. Don't call it a comeback.
What?
Don't call it a comeback.
That's actually really good.
It's pretty good, right? We already had like a comeback
That's
episode.
Really
That's good. See?
I like it. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh my god.
That's good. I wonder if he thinks we're totally crazy that we have now.
I have 3 minutes.
You do. If you need a drink, you got to start it. If you want to get it in. Oh, so you put in your bank rather. Crispy Snickers Crisper. So the next one, you have 10 minutes to do book or to do TV, and then you also get one for finishing it in a half an hour. And if it's done by 11, but if we go past 11, then I'll give you, then you every minute you lose a candy bar. Then it's like a hostage situation until they're all gone. So if you've earned them and you go past, then I count down. If you go a minute, you lose a candy bar. If you go another minute, you lose another candy bar.
We're going over. This is happening.
Okay. I'm just saying that's my structure.
I didn't get the Twix last time, and I'm getting that Twix.
You're getting it. That's the last one.
I'm getting that Twix, man.
That's my I'm doing it. I'm doing it hostage style.
Back in I posted a tweet that I gave out fake alternative facts last episode.
About what?
Nobody found it.
Which one?
I actually sang the wrong song for Dishwalla.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Because I did the Everything Falls Apart. That's not them.
What's the Dishwalla song?
Tell me all your thoughts on God, because I really like to meet her.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait. I put those songs on a Radio BrendoMan playlist because I was like, I listened to Fuel for like an hour, and I'm just like, I'm pumped.
They're probably for me, the best
Fuel's
band.
Definitely the best
lot.
band. But you know who else is good?
Who?
Candlebox is really
Yeah.
good. Candlebox is good.
I haven't listened to any of that stuff in a long time.
It's gonna be fun, seeing them live. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a fun time.
What is Oh, okay.
He's got his dog.
Yeah, from a certain angle though, I couldn't tell what it was. I thought it was
my Fuel was perfect. In my hair, in my hands, because it's kind of Creed, but way better.
Yeah.
Because they're all still going.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was just funny listening to all those songs. I'm like, these guys are geniuses because nobody would book these guys.
Yeah, but their powers combined.
But their power, it's enough to be like,
They should call it the Voltron tour.
They're so smart. They are so smart. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, set to half an hour.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could just do 45 and we keep track of it.
Nope,
but-
we're not going to keep track. That won't work.
All right.
We got to start right now.
Start at 10:30 right this second.
You know who's like the unsung like great on that show?
Who?
Jenny Slate.
Oh yeah.
So funny. Everybody's so good.
I love it
Everybody's
so much.
so
It's
good.
just brilliant.
And then like the guy that plays Linda does because it's Jenny Slate is one girl, and then
Yeah,
the guy
and
that
he
plays
does
another
yeah.
girl, and they're both like
Yeah.
hilarious. Like I love because it's like it's kind of Linda, but like more Valley Girl.
Yeah. A little higher pitch,
Yeah.
but it's mostly Linda.
But then Jenny Slate is so
Yeah.
funny. Oh, love that show. So good. All right. Crap.
Close it out.
I did. I closed it.
Bang
In my hair, girl. Leela. Oh, can't wait. Her episode of You Made It Weird is great.
Oh, I do love her.
Oh, wait, I just minimized that. Crap.
And she's in a new movie that's like a serious movie.
She's been doing some serious stuff. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy,
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
and this is part 3 of last week's
part
episode.
3. That's right.
This is a blast from last week.
This is Tuesday's episode.
Tuesday's ep. We're recording it the Tuesday before.
We are. I did figure out time travel, and this time next week.
That means the next time we do Amazon is going to be a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
good.
gonna be
It's gonna like a
banking that
mega
Amazon.
episode.
All Amazon all the time.
That's good. That's fun
As
stuff.
long as you guys, you better be buying lots of Amazon stuff.
Do it.
Do it. Don't you want to hear us read funny Amazon reviews? And
I want to.
I read Amazon reviews
I
for
love seeing what people get.
Amazon reviews for sex toys and not pregnancy tests. We found out that was a real bummer.
Yeah.
This
That-
told me I was
don't.
pregnant.
That's one of those things you don't want to read.
If you ever want to be sad, read the Amazon reviews for a pregnancy test.
Yeah, it seemed like a funny idea.
Go
at the
down to the
time.
1 stars, and it's oh man,
It's
not good.
It's one of those things where, as we were doing it, I was like, "Oh,
This is not a good idea.
We need to stop doing this.
Stop doing this right now.
Go back.
Delete. All right. Well, you know what you shouldn't delete is checking out our Facebook group,
That's right.
our subreddit.
Those
Got
things
that
are all
stuff.
good.
Kickstarter's moving along.
It's good.
What's going on with that?
It'll be.
What's going on with Radio Brenda? What is going on with BrendoMan All Stars? That's your part. Do your part.
I did. I got something moving forward on that.
Whoa.
Because all the files are on my old computer, and I didn't have a thumb drive big enough to get it all on my new computer, and I went and bought one this week.
Whoa.
So that's good news.
That is good news. So you're
Yeah.
making progress.
Yeah, it's progress. All right.
All right. Well, be sure to check out myvacationpants.com.
Yeah.
Be sure to go to mandarinorshow.com. Lots of good stuff on my vacation pants. I can't tell you how much Janelle's helped me on my various trips. Just some of her tips.
Just good information.
Google Flights is like the greatest thing. Booking.com.
Yep.
That's kind of my new standard. I use Booking.com a lot these days.
Well, that whole thing where you can, for a lot of them, you can book it
Yeah,
but not have to
in
pay
advance.
for it and free
then
cancellation.
because I always do that as a backup, and
Right.
then if I can't find a hotwire, I've always got that
You've got it.
Booking.com.
Right.
Because right now I might cancel my booking for Orlando because there's some good action on Hotwire,
Yeah.
but I'm a little nervous because I've looked like if you get a bus there, you bust big because there's some real
Yeah,
dump
it can
holes.
be really bad.
Whereas I know exactly right now where I'm staying, and I've looked on their website, I've read tons of reviews. It's not the best, but it'll do, and it's got breakfast, and it's got free internet. I definitely need those things.
Yeah.
And it's got it's a good location. It's like central to it's halfway between Universal Studios and then the wrestling stuff.
That's good.
So it's like and it's like right next to they have this trolley that goes up and down International Drive, and there's a stop right in front of my
Oh,
hotel.
it's perfect.
And I might use that a little bit, but I did I don't know what it is about in Florida, but Lyft is super cheap.
Really?
It's real cheap.
Huh.
And because
I
I
wonder
did
why.
some fare estimates, I think it's just different.
Maybe gas is
I
cheaper?
don't know, but it's really cheap because I was like, well, that's gonna be expensive. It's like, oh, that's $15, to the airport.
That's
It's
cool.
like $12.
Nice.
And So I'm pretty stoked on all that. I just we'll get to it in a minute, but some new developments have occurred in the Orlando trip.
New information has come to light.
But you know what else has come to light is doing mountainroomescapes.com.
Yeah.
Get Mountain Room Escapes up in Big Bear. Go to mountainroomescapes.com, book your escape room.
If their new room is running,
the new
it's good.
room, and you can maybe get trapped in the room. What if you got trapped in the room escape for real?
If you got like in the snow?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no more snow like on the immediate horizon.
Well, there you
you're
go.
probably good.
No, it's going to be warming up pretty soon here.
Yeah.
But mountainroomescapes.com, use the code Radio BrendoMan. You get $5 off each ticket.
Yeah.
And you get a special exclusive gift.
Which is a great deal.
Yeah. Also, be sure to check out our friends at Crude Ink. They make these awesome vinyl artwork. Man, I still want to get some of those. Etsy.com/shop/Crude Ink.
INC.
INC. And we got our event calendar. Well, this one will have already have happened, but we did go to LA Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention.
It was great. How'd you do?
I hope I did real well.
I sold a ton of stuff.
So much things. I think this is going to be good. On Saturday, I'm doing a full clean out.
Yeah, getting it all ready.
I got new items. I think I've got some new things I'm going to be selling, but then I've got my new pricing structure for the comics. I feel like I'm going to sell a lot. Plus I got them in all in good order and shape, and I think I'm going to do well.
Nice.
And yeah, Logan, 240 million globally, but I don't think they can do a sequel.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well,
but
he's changed his mind before.
I mean, they could do it X20. They'll do it, but it'll probably be with X23. I mean, I could definitely see that. Speaking of that, we got tickets from our friend Brett Deacon, who works for 4DX, gave us some free passes to the 4DX, so we will have gone to that.
Yeah, I think we really enjoyed that.
I hope we really did.
I think it was really cool.
We're either going to be seeing Logan or depending on when Kong, the new Kong one.
Yeah, whatever's there.
Yeah, whatever is playing in the 4DX.
That'd be cool.
We're going to be seeing it because it just looks. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very
Andrew
excited.
says he found a stash of old McDonald's toys. Oh.
He's got the sweet
Andrew's
stuff.
got some real sweet because
Do you have the Transformers ones, where they change into burgers and fries and
those
stuff?
are the best ones. Do you have any of those? Do you have? Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, I might buy one of those off of you.
You might have some customers already,
dude. Do you have the French fry? Which ones do you have? Oh, come on, dude. He knows they're hot items.
Those are hot
Wait,
items.
so which ones do you have? Do you have any of the Nintendo ones? Like the Super Mario Brothers 3 ones? Like that Goomba that you stuck and then it flipped up? That was the best one. Or those Batman animated series cars or the Fraggle Rock cars where you pushed them and then you flipped them over.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Do you have the Goomba?
What?
I will buy that Goomba off of you.
He said you're mentioning everything.
We're going to be buying some of these.
We get first dibs. That's all he's saying.
Oh, it doesn't flip.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we'll look through his stuff.
Can we call first dibs on your McDonald's toys? Because I right now got to these toys.
Okay, well, we'll have to look at condition.
Still,
I'm
kind of getting excited about.
You'll definitely have some interest in those things,
dude. Our booth. We're
just
gonna be.
Brendan and I are I mean, we're not the only ones like that. So.
You should bring the good ones just say they're not for sale just to get people to come over to the booth.
Psych. No, I don't know. That's a bait and switch. You don't want to do that.
But, I mean, you draw enough attention because Andrew's got the Disney
pins.
He's
got the pins, man.
And that's all you need.
He
just kills. He's made so much money selling those Disney pins.
Well, we'll be there at the Arcade Expo Sunday.
We're going to be there so it's March 17th through the 19th, but we're going to be there.
Oh, you're going to be there on Sunday.
The 19th.
The 19th, yeah. Sunday the 19th.
Is that for sure at this point?
Yeah. The tentative time is 3:00, but we'll have that kind of.
Do I get a free?
Don't know about that yet.
Has he said anything?
He is not really. He said, I'm going to get back to you.
Okay.
Hasn't, I don't know. I've kind of mentioned it, but it's not been forthcoming with that, so I don't know.
It's okay. I'll still do it. I need to make sure it's okay with our guests.
Yeah, check with your guest. But
we're gonna have a guest, and they'll be doing it, not you, because you're gonna be.
I'll be in New York, and then you're gonna be.
But you can get tickets at arcadeexpo.com. But I would recommend to wait and see if there's a Groupon.
Yeah, might be good.
There might be a Groupon next week.
Yeah, you might want to scope it out.
Just scope it out, because it's usually a really good deal.
Yeah.
Because it's not cheap. But don't let the price, because it will be the best $50 you've ever spent.
Yes.
As long as you get there early and then you just spend all day, because it's It's like 800 pinball machines and like 400 arcade games on free play.
It's unreal.
It's so great.
I'm
Even
so jealous.
Phil was a doubter the first time we came. We ended up spending. I had to pry Phil off of an arcade.
I didn't know what I was walking into.
We were there till like 2 a.m.
I did not know what I was walking into.
We closed that place down.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It feels like, oh, just a little bit longer, because like I was ready to go at like 11, and then like we ended up staying till like 2:30.
It's fantastic,
but it's amazing, and I'm really excited. And so, March 28th through April 3rd, I will be in Orlando for WrestleMania. Also going to Universal Studios. If anybody can hook me up with some Universal, because it's freaking expensive. If you know any employees,
I don't think anyone's come forth
any
yet.
employees or anything, because it's not cheap. But I'm doing it.
You're gonna do it.
Also, I guess I could talk about it.
You might as well.
So, I had known this was a thing, but I knew I was never going to do it because it was just beyond expensive. But WWE offers, they've only offered this like 3 other times, and they're offering it during WrestleMania weekend because since it's in Orlando, they have their performance center in Orlando, which is where they train their wrestlers and where NXT is based out of, which is the brand of where it's like their next generation, but it also has a lot of indie and international stars that they're getting ready for the main roster, such as my favorite wrestler in the entire world, who I've talked about on this show quite a bit,
Shinsuke
Nakamura, who I watched in Dallas last year. And so they have a thing where basically you go there, it costs a lot of money, and it's over $1,000, and so you have breakfast and lunch with the wrestlers. You get a full tour of the performance center. You get to hang out. You get to watch them train, but that's not even the sweet stuff. One, you get to take a promo class and then film cutting a promo, like, this is Big Bad BrendoMan. I'm gonna,
is that gonna be?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Big Bad Brendo?
Well, they offer you like this is the guy, like the main head writer helps coach you and like gives you suggestions. And then the other thing you get to do, this is the main thing, is you get to plan out and participate in a show featuring up to 8 matches that they do just for like the 40 people. And by be part of it, I mean people get to be the managers of the wrestlers. They have multiple you might be an announcer, you might be a timekeeper, you get to do commentary.
And what is it that you want to be? What's your dream one?
I want to be Shinsuke Nakamura's manager and come out to the ring with him. And it sounds like I might have my hat button. I am like free. So that being said, and that's the normal non-WrestleMania one.
Right.
So for WrestleMania, they are tacking on to sweeten the deal. It's a little bit more money. You get to go, so they have their big pay-per-view, the NXT pay-per-view takeover, which is the one I went to Dallas where Shinsuke Nakamura wrestled his first match.
Right.
That was last year. This year, it's in the same arena where they're doing Raw on Monday. So this is like a 20,000 seat arena. And you get VIP backstage access to the show, and then during the show, you get to sit in the WWE suite where you're going to be sitting with other wrestlers, and they're going to come hang out, and you get food and everything. And this was a show that I didn't even have tickets to because it's impossible to get. And now I'm going to be backstage and sitting in a suite with the other WWE wrestlers. and dude, you don't even know. You know who's going to be backstage this thing? I'm talking The Rock. I'm talking John Cena. I'm talking celebrities. I'm talking about all this stuff. I'm talking about Triple H and Vince McMahon himself.
Brendan might never come back from this trip, just so you guys know. This might be it.
This is like the greatest thing that might ever happen. So I haven't even said that. So I'm doing this, you guys.
I got to call it like midnight the other night. Midnight. I'm like asleep, but I'm like, oh, Brendan's calling me late. I better go find out what's going on. So I go out, and he's like, Phil, I need your advice. I want to spend a lot of money, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't be, I was telling Brendan, I can't be unbiased because A, I am the kind of person that spent, not that much money, but a lot of money on like my fun obsessions. And B, I don't, wrestling is not my thing. So I don't have that.
But I tried to frame it in Phil terms where I'm like, imagine you could spend a day with Starflyer 59 and then it culminated with you going on stage with them, because this is basically
I've done that before. I just didn't play with them, but I've introduced them.
But then the thing I forgot to mention is not only do I get to do all that stuff, but then the culmination of this whole thing is I get to go out on the entrance ramp at the NXT TakeOver, and we get to take our picture like in the entrance ramp, and this is at the giant arena, and I get to go in the ring. I'm gonna get to go in a WWE wrestling ring, which
pretty cool.
This is everything I've ever dreamed about and more, and then some. And I don't know what's gonna happen. And I'm definitely, even if I don't get to be his manager, I'm definitely gonna get to hang out with Nakamura, like hang out.
Well,
like hang out with him. So some opportunities arose where I got to get a slight discount on the price, and I got my tax. So my tax return this year was very interesting. Because I was unemployed until April, I hit this sweet spot with my earnings where I qualified for the earned income credit.
Okay.
And so my tax refund is big.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I got a big tax return, and then I had been saving money all year in my summer savings account as kind of a pipe dream for this, but I was nowhere near the amount I needed.
Right.
But between that and my tax return, it pretty much covers it. So I'm like, I feel like I have to do this, because this opportunity is never going to come again. This is it.
It's going to be a big boost for Mr. Brendo's Wrestling Show.
It's going to be a huge boost for Mr. Brendo's Wrestling Show, because it's going to be. You're gonna, if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, just get ready, because it's gonna be. So you're not allowed to bring a camera. Well, you can, but they only take pictures at the very end of the event.
Okay.
But they have a professional photographer and videographer all day, and then they send you all that stuff.
That's pretty good.
And like the promo
so we're gonna
that
get
I
to
do.
see stuff.
Yes, it's gonna be nuts.
That's cool.
It's gonna be so nuts, and you're just gonna see me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I might just start throwing up everywhere, because like just thinking about this is getting me.
What if you throw up on your favorite wrestler in the whole world?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just thinking about this is freaking me out so much, and I can't believe it's like a month away, and
That's awesome.
I want it to be that day, like now. This is like it's Christmas for it's the night before Christmas for the next 3 weeks.
It's gonna be good. I mean, you've done it now. You've already paid for it.
It's done.
So there's no worrying about should you.
But I can't stop.
You just do it.
I'm kind of freaked out about the whole money thing, but then I'm like, it's fine, because it's gonna be so awesome. And I talk to people that have done it, and they're like, I would have paid 10 times what I paid. And I'm like, yeah, but you probably, and they're like, no, I'm because I asked them, I'm like, this was a big thing for you, right? He's like, yeah, because there are people that are probably rich and it's like nothing and like
right,
whatever.
Right.
But there are a lot of people like me that like this is their lifelong dream, and they're gonna do whatever it takes, and they don't make a ton of money, but they're gonna make it happen. And I made this happen. I pretty much willed this into existence.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a Lego tour, factory tour at Legoland in Denmark where we're gonna go. And it's something along those lines. It's like $1,200 a person.
Oh my god!
But you get to go in the vault where they have every single Lego set ever made sealed, all displayed, and you get to like handle them and look at them all. They give you like tons of free sets. You get to go behind the scenes on the factory, behind the scenes in the park. Yeah. You get all the stuff, right? It's sold out. So thank goodness it is, because I would have dropped the money right there.
You would have done it
times 4 of us. So anyway.
Phil's Lego heist. Now you're going to plan a heist.
Exactly, because they're all there.
How do you break into that Lego
I saw they have a couple like discrete pictures so you can see what it looks like, and I'm like,
because we're talking like the ultimate Lego sets.
All of them, everything. And they're all cataloged, like, and
Lego sets that are now worth like
hundreds if not thousands.
Those castles, like those old Phil's freaking out right now.
All right, we have 11 minutes. How are we spending it?
Well, we got to talk about our continue our upcoming events. So while I'm having the time of my life at WrestleMania, not to mention my show count is now up to 13 shows.
That's a lot of shows. That's a lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling.
My main concern, as I've said to you, is I feel like after Thursday, I could be at the greatest match ever after Thursday and just be like,
seen it.
Because
it's going to ruin you.
It might ruin everything.
Maybe you'll just be done at that point.
What if this is it? What if this is, because then what if I get home and I'm like, I think I'm good with wrestling?
That would be an interesting twist. I will tell you. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying no way.
No way.
Yeah.
Because the most pumped I am about wrestling is right after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I come home and I'm just like, oh, I love it. I love it so much. And I'm so excited. And I'm excited to go to Orlando. I'm really excited about Harry Potter World because I did some super research. They have the fat car on Harry Potter Incredible Journey, so I'm gonna be able to freaking ride the freaking ride, which they don't have it at Hollywood. Right. Why don't they have the fat car at Hollywood?
It's fat car, guys.
Because they're like, if you can't ride in this fat car, then you should probably you should need help. But I definitely can because I looked at the measurements and I saw guys way bigger than me riding in it.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm good. And then the Gringotts ride. They said you'll be fine. Just ask for the back because it's a tall thing. Okay. It's not. There isn't a fat thing. It's a tall thing.
Okay.
So I'm super because that Gringotts ride. I don't know if you've seen video of it. Oh, it looks so awesome. Because where are you at in Deathly Hallows?
Like 200 pages in.
Has the Gringotts stuff happened yet?
No.
Okay, then I won't. Because this ride is a spoiler.
Okay. All right. Well, don't tell me that. But while you're doing all that stuff, I'm going to be at WonderCon.
Yeah.
ComicCon.com. Comic-con.org/WCA. We're going to be doing our webcomics panel there.
We're going to be doing our panel on Friday. We can't say when or where yet.
Friday.
But it'll be Friday.
Friday. Got to get down on Friday.
And, yeah.
The Comic-Con Revolution, anywhere on that?
Comic-Con Revolution, still, they haven't opened up their programming yet, but it sounds... May 13th in Ontario.
ComicConRevolution.com.
You've got some weird thing planned that day.
Yeah, it's going to be cool, trust me. San Diego Comic-Con, you guys know that. They don't need us to tell them about when that is.
Yeah, but that's July 19th or 23rd.
Comic-Con Palm
Return
Springs.
Registration is happening soon for Comic-Con, which means new registration is going to happen soon after that. And then Pro Reg. So it's all, if you're not ready, then
it's too late.
It's too late.
Comic-Con Palm Springs, however, still has tickets available at ComicConPalmSprings.com.
They're announcing new stuff every single day at this point.
Ton of stuff there.
August 25th. Oh, I got to get a booking.com going for that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
Long Beach.
August 25th through 27th. Then we got Long Beach Comic-Con September 2nd and 3rd. And then we got the thing that I just got really pumped for it today, LA Podfest.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 6th, 7th, and 8th. One, because I've been listening to a lot of The Dollop with Dave Anthony and Gareth Edwards, and that show's great, and Dave's great. And have you watched Marin season? New season? Oh, you gotta watch. And Dave is so funny, and I know we make September sound so soon.
It's right around the corner.
But I'm so, and then I'm now that I've watched Crashing, I'm just really excited to see TJ Miller again.
It's all happening. It's all happening
because he's already going to be there, and Marin's going to be there,
and we're going to be there.
We're sitting down with Marin again. Like
giving him a record.
We're definitely giving him a record. As long as we promise he doesn't have to talk to Aaron.
Who knows? Maybe he'll be in a good mood.
What if Aaron and Marin Part 2?
Aaron and Marin.
Yeah.
Marin.
But yeah, so that's all the stuff that we're doing. Oh my gosh.
Well, I already talked a lot about my being trapped in the snow.
Rock cards?
We're gonna have to if you want. We're gonna have to skip rock cards for tonight
because we gotta do Marvel.
I will very, very quickly tell you about Zelda. I got Zelda. I got the Switch on Friday, but Amazon did not have my stuff ready on Friday.
Here's where I am confused because I talked to you on Friday night.
So they're coming on. It's coming on Saturday.
Yeah,
it wasn't there Saturday. Saturday morning, I went by Walmart to get a screen protector, and they had.
When did it end up coming? Did it come on?
Didn't come until Saturday evening.
You couldn't have waited till that.
Well, I didn't know. It's on the thing. It said it wasn't coming till Tuesday.
Oh, and then you were
on their shipping thing. It said it's not coming till Tuesday. I'm like, I'm not waiting until Tuesday to play Zelda. And then when I went to Walmart, they had one of the special editions, which are sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
And they had it there.
What did the special edition get you?
It got the case, which I was there to buy a case and a screen protector. So it came with the case, and it's a sweet one right from the game. It's got like a map and a coin. It's got the CD soundtrack. It's got the special edition. Luke fell asleep to that tonight. And it had the game. It was $100, whereas the game itself is $60.
Yeah.
And I was going to buy a case for $25.
Yeah.
So, all in all, it worked out. Stuff. Anyway, so I got it all, and then I'm selling my additional copy on eBay.
Why can't you return it?
Because I got it for such a huge discount through Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I got it for the 20% off, plus they gave me $5 off because it was late.
You can't return it?
If I return it, I'm only going to get like $43.
But that's how much you paid for it.
Yeah, but if I sell it, then I'm going to come out ahead in the game.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive.
Nobody's bidding on it.
I don't know. Not yet. But they're not going to bid on it till the end. And even if they don't, I'll list it again, and eventually I will, and I'll come out ahead.
But aren't you paying listing fees every time you
No,
list?
it doesn't cost listing fees. That's old. eBay hasn't done that for years.
That's good.
That's decades old.
Because that was like, that like ended up, that's why I got off eBay.
They stopped doing that. It's because everyone was getting off.
Well, now I got to get back on eBay.
It's all free. You don't pay unless you sell.
Well, there you go. I'm getting back on the eBay train because that's why I'm like, I don't want to try listing this stuff because if it doesn't
free.
sell,
if it doesn't, I just relist.
Racking up those listing fees.
Yep.
And I remember it would, and then you wouldn't do it till like the end of the month. So you're like, I'm doing pretty good, and then you get hit with that eBay bill.
They still do, but it's only the stuff you made money from, and not the stuff you did.
Getting hit with that giant eBay bill in a month where you didn't even sell anything. Was always like a super bummer.
That's why, and that's why it's become my place of choice to sell stuff. All right, you're
get back on that eBay train.
I give it over to you.
I was just talking about how like Orlando like things took a crazy turn, and then I'm up to 13 shows, and I don't know. It's just thinking about it now. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna survive this? It's gonna be nuts. Orlando's gonna be crazy. Just expect a lot of really. Because I looked at my New Orleans pictures, and that first picture that I took with Shane Douglas, I'm just so happy. And everybody, like, I love that, like, Vicky's like, oh my gosh, you're so happy. And I feel like that's going to be me this entire trip.
Yep.
And I'm really pumped, and I just wish it was the end of the month already. I can't believe spring break is almost here.
It's almost
Your
there.
Spring break is like next week.
We're leaving on a week from tomorrow.
So jealous. Yeah. But then, so I found out that we have a spring break. Our spring break starts that week. I did my calendar.
Oh.
And no, it's fine.
Okay.
Because I took off the week, because I only get 1 week anyways, actual like vacation,
right?
Because I have to work the first week. So that first week when you guys are on spring break, my school's on spring break too.
You still have to be
but I'm at work,
right?
But there's not going to be anything going on, so it's going to be pretty chill. But I'm going to be able to get a lot of work done. Like I have a plan. I actually have a plan.
Sweet.
For things I'm going to be able to do. But then I'm gonna so then I go to Orlando, and then that's the second week. That's your guys' second week.
Yeah.
But you're back. No, you're not back until I get back, because
we're back. We come back the day you fly out, but like we come back after you fly out.
And then the next week school starts, and I had thought that those 2 weeks, that first week of April, last week of March, and first week of April were my spring break.
Yeah.
For the school spring break, but actually it's those last 2 weeks of March. So that first week of April I took off, but I was going to take it off anyways.
But
I just thought it was going to be during school,
break.
But it's still fine.
Yeah.
They still gave it to me. But yeah, so I'm taking vacation, like paid vacation. And
that's good.
And then I'm going to I get back. So I'm flying on Tuesday. I'm flying from Orlando to, I think I go to somewhere, DC, and then DC to Portland.
Nice.
And then my brother's wedding. I get to see my mom. My mom. Here's the thing I love about my mom. My mom is probably just as excited about seeing me and my brother as I am about seeing the wrestlers.
She's getting the backstage pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the same. That's how much. I think I kind of understand how much my mom.
It's the backstage sun pass.
I'm getting Facebook messages like every day, and like she's so happy. And it's getting a little bit, I have to remind myself, like, she's just really excited. Her son, one of her sons is getting married, and she's seeing her other son that she hasn't seen in 5 years. I haven't seen my mom in 5 years.
Crazy.
You guys. It's pretty crazy. The last time I saw my mom was when swimming, and Audrey was 4 and Luke was 2.
Yeah. If you want to finish this, we got to jump
Let's do
Marmaduke.
I just want to say one last thing.
Got a minute and 13 seconds.
This week's Last Man on Earth might have been the best episode
absolute greatest.
It's so good, you guys.
Watch it.
Everybody should watch it. Okay.
All right, Marmaduke. Let's see. He's asleep on the couch, and he wakes up. Clump, clump. He hears a noise. Clump. And he goes, yeah. And
is he trying to kill Phil again?
No, Dot's like stomping into the room. Woof, woof, woof.
Wait,
he's
who's
barking
saying
at her.
Yow?
Oh, this is Marmaduke says
Marmaduke
that. He says, yeah. And then woof, woof, woof. He's barking at this foot. We don't know for sure who it is, but it definitely looks like a slipper and like a nightgown. Then he runs away scared. Woof, 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 woof. And then we hear, again, we see the foot, and from off panel we see, stop clowning and come out from under that bed. And then the final reveal, it's Dot with like a mask, like a cucumber mask type thing, and her hair's in curlers. And she says, "You know perfectly well who I am."
Okay, first of all, it's dumb. And then second of all, Dot with like all her stuff on looks really weird.
It's really odd.
It's really weird. Also, Marmaduke
says, "Yeah."
Marmaduke audibly
so he
yells
speaks
out loud.
That's Marmaduke.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's gonna be it for this week's Radio BrendoMan. I did it.
You did it. Got 30 seconds.
It's 11 p.m.
All right.
So that's going to do it for this week. Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com. Stay tuned on Thursday for our conversation with author James Riley. So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And John Goobang Doo, because I forgot to say it the last 2 times. Still 11.
Did it.
I just did it.
You did it. You got your TV talk all spread throughout. So that's an automatic one.
Yeah. What are we calling this one?
What are we calling this one? For Brendo's wrestling bonanza. I don't know.
Brendo might die.
Brendo might die, yes.
That sounds
the
weird.
last trip Brendo will ever take. I don't know.
Orlando got nuts.
Orlando got nuts.
Yeah.
Or could this be the end of wrestling?
No.
Orlando got nuts. Okay. You want to get nuts?
Come on.
You did it. We got 3 episodes in, and it's 11 p.m.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Unbreakable.
That comes back soon.
I know. When? I gotta see that again.
Like April.
I was so glad the Last Man on Earth came back. So good.
Yeah, and they already got renewed for next season.
Oh, it's so good. You got to catch up. We won't spoil it, Quinn, but dude, it's amazing.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out in the chat.
Good.
It's good to see you.
What else was good this week?
Bob's Burgers was great.
Bob's Burgers.
That's the only thing I watched. I went to the movies.
Goldbergs. Did you watch the Karate Kid Goldbergs?
Oh, I did see the Karate Kid Goldbergs.
My gosh, that was so good.
That was amazing.
Because I was so mad because during the Oscars they showed a commercial for it, and Derek was like, "This looks so stupid. What? They just do the movie?" I'm like, "No, that's not what they do." And then, but from the commercial, it did look like it looks like. Yeah. And I'm like, "No."
It's so much more than that.
And then the way the fact that they finally resolved the Adam Goldberg, like that was amazing.
Yes.
It was so funny.
Yes.
It was so funny. It's so good. And I love that like
the uncle is the
uncle's the trainer and Murray's just like, "No, you need to bop this kid in the nose." Like I'm because I was the bully. Like I loved his story.
Oh yeah.
And then just all the Karate Kid stuff was amazing that they like staged the whole like we've been working, we can do this.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta tell you, I don't know how to fight. I don't either.
And I wonder like how their actual real life scenario is doing.
Oh man,
I love when the uncle's like, "Hold on." He's like, "Oh, he's gonna heal me." He's like, "Oh no, I'm just trying to think about what we can do. I don't know, man."
When he's like gets him to clean his whole apartment.
Yeah. and then he tries doing karate and they like wipe the screen
like,
now.
I'm so mad. What did you do to me? I love that show.
So good. Yeah, that was great.
I love it.
I think there's a new Goldbergs now, though, isn't there?
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
I think it's this week.
Maybe
that was last
Maybe
week.
that was last week. Okay.
This week's not on yet. And if you watched the Framework Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet?
I'm still like 3 behind, but I watched more to catch up. I haven't quite gotten.
You haven't watched where they jump it. Oh, dude.
Because I don't want it to like.
I can't wait
fall
for
behind.
you to watch it and just be like, because I need some confirmation. It's just like
I see where it's going because like I think it's gonna be the next episode.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fall behind and then like
then
you know. So I'm like 2. I think I'm 2 or 3 back.
I still think it's like salvageable, but they're teetering right now. I'm like, oh no, you got the framework. They're like the last that was the funniest part of it because I listened back to that part of the episode. I just keep saying the framework over and over again.
That's funny.
It's pretty funny, and it's also like this could be it. This could be like I know everybody else has already abandoned this show.
That might be, but
I
like it so much.
I know,
I know, waste
but
it.
I want to hear your thoughts.
I will see
because you might be able to.
Because Ghost Rider stuff has been like the best.
People apparently they pulled Ghost Rider early. because it wasn't going over
Why?
well.
It was
Because it wasn't going
amazing.
over well, which is crazy.
He was great.
But they wrote him off early. And now he might not be in any
Makes me
movies.
sad. Why? That was so good.
I know.
He finally did like a
They
cool
might-
Ghost Rider.
It was expensive CGI.
Well, okay, that part I get, but
yeah.
why I want Ghost
But
Rider
I
to
did
pop
hear
up.
they pull him early, and now they're saying when he in the movies, it might end up being Johnny Blaze. And I'm like, no.
Oh. How cool would it be if Ghost Rider did like a cameo in like Thor or something?
Oh yeah, it'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Maybe they ripped off Grant Morrison's The Invisibles. I mean, it's possible, but
Framework.
But it's seriously like they're in a freaking like
They're
recliner
jacked in.
thing, and they're jacked in, and
That's pretty funny.
and then they're like, if you die in there, you die here. And
You
I'm
die
like,
in the framework.
what is happening right now? And then they're like, they have to go find him in the framework, which is exactly they have to go find Neo in the
Yeah.
framework. It is exactly the Matrix.
That's funny.
VR5. VR5. Yeah, because everybody remembers VR5.
What's VR5?
It was a dumb TV show.
I don't even remember that.
It was really dumb.
That's funny. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out in the chat.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
We'll record next week, but we're not going to be on
Next week.
open chat with James. We won't have chat, but then we'll do more after that. So
Yeah,
probably
we'll
about the same time anyway.
Open it up after.
Yeah. So.
We'll open it up after.
All right.
We don't want you guys to freak out around James Riley. It's pointless because we got to.
Yeah, we're already having a 3-way conversation. We can't add any other voices in. That's the deal.
Plus, we don't want to scare.
Plus, we don't want to scare guests away because I want him to keep talking to us because I love his book so much.
Plus, yeah,
My gosh.
I cannot wait for that.
Oh,
Choose your own adventure
no.
thing.
Pick your path. It's amazing.
I'm very excited, and I just can't believe. And we never talked to him about the mystery one.
Yeah.
Hidden chapters.
Yeah, we skipped a book.
The lost chapters.
And it's probably, it's okay.
We kind of talked about it when it was about to come out.
Well, and he hinted at the stuff that was to come. He hinted at a Choose Your Own Adventure one.
He hinted about Choose Your Own Adventure, and now we can talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Virtuosity. That was a Matrix ripoff.
I
No, Existence was but that was Cronenberg, and it was like a weird Cronenberg type Matrix. But Virtuosity was just another one of those mid-90s. Because what was the other one? Strange Days. There's Strange Days.
Well, they all owe themselves to Dark City, says me.
Well, Dark City was after some of these. But Dark City is like its own unique thing, man. Dark City is
amazing.
But that guy can't catch a break.
Alex Proyas?
Yeah. But he's also made some goofy stuff.
See, Mario agrees Dark City was first. It was definitely before The Matrix.
Well, yeah, obviously. Because I remember when I was talking to you about it.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater, and I was like,
well, even when I saw it,
you guys, we just saw the Dark City.
When I went and talked to you about it, trying to get you to come see it, you're like, what are you talking about? It's Dark City. And I was like, no. And then you're like, no, that's Dark City. And I'm like, oh. And then when we were leaving, I'm like, I guess it was kind of Dark City, but it was still really awesome.
You know who I saw Dark City with?
Who?
Saw it at the La Mirada Theater with Jonathan Matlock.
Yeah, I was still in high school when that came out.
My freshman year.
Man, Dark City. I didn't watch Dark City till after I saw The Matrix.
Oh.
You talked about it, and I'm like, I should.
It's so good.
See this, and it's awesome.
Shell Beach.
And then the director's cut, because I had the Blu-ray with it. The director's cut is even better. And the commentary, there's a commentary on the DVD with Roger Ebert.
Oh, really?
And it's great.
That's cool.
Because he loved the Dark City. So hearing him, because I think he's great. So hearing him talk about it.
Look at the effects in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Consider when it came out. It's stunning.
And then just freaking Jennifer Connelly and Kiefer Sutherland and all those guys. That's so good. It's really creepy.
It's all the stuff they did in Inception, rather. Effects wise, they just did it all in a computer, obviously.
Yeah.
But he was doing that stuff. I know there was some digital stuff, but
there was practical stuff.
That's what I mean. There was a lot.
There was
more
also practical stuff in Inception.
There was, but I think the balance goes a little bit more in the practical.
Dark
side.
City didn't have wah wah wah.
The funny part is that was a really good thing.
Yeah, but it's because now that they've done it and everything, and they still do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, every time they do that in a trailer, I'm like, stop.
I love that what's the composer's name again? That he's apologized. I wish I never did that. Sorry.
Dark City and Matrix had the same effect crew.
Interesting.
Boom.
Interesting. Well, that just makes sense. They're just like, hey,
Did
we
you
already
hear
did this once,
that
guys.
Keanu gave like half of his Matrix money to the effects crew and the fight team
No,
because he said they are the true stars.
well, he's not
And
wrong.
also, Keanu, like, after his sister died, like, doesn't care about money.
But he does want to do another Matrix movie.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Just do another Bill and Ted, Sky.
That needs to
Come on.
happen.
We've seen enough Matrix, but we only got 2 Bill and Teds plus like a cartoon and a
Yo,
comic.
listening to this mashup.
All right, mashup, and then
Mouth moods.
This is the story of a girl. 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 This is the story of a girl.
I'm pretty sure he said like he'd keep doing John Wicks as long as they let him, because he was on Nerdist.
what are you doing to us, Quinn? What are you doing to us? I feel like I'm gonna have nightmares about this. Oh my gosh.
It's all first lines. It's all the first
That's funny.
lines of songs. Wait, so I have to download this? How do I get to track 2? Oh, it's just one big
Just
long
one
thing.
big long thing. Huh.
It's pretty cool. Hold on. I'm going to go to try and find that other track.
Like the cake line in there. Put my chair back.
Mouth mood. So you want track Floor Corn. Is that the one? Oh, dude. Popcorn. It's a popcorn song. It's... This is awesome. Later, Mario. Quinn, this is pretty great. It is awesome. That's awesome, Quinn. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to have to download the whole thing. All right, see everybody later.
Bye.
Are you still doing the puzzle?